going to be. You guys think we ought to do a watch party for the first round? What do you guys think? As we welcome you in, I got to talk here. We didn't have a pre-production meeting because I was on the air for 2 hours last night and kind of cooked. And Matt and I were on the other night for a couple of hours. And so here we are. Pretty pumped. Bino, Jeff Henderson, your vote. What do you think? Listener Watch Party Friday. Will people show up for that?
I think they'll absolutely show up for that, Tony. So my vote is yes.
Brian Hartman, your vote? Listener Watch Party Friday?
Can I say no? Just to be dissenting?
I mean, you know.
And by the way, I won't be here, so, I'm voting on something.
You're the caller hater. Yeah, Maury's in for you Friday. Yep.
What an upgrade that is. How'd you pull that off?
I mean, I don't know. I have connections, I guess.
Yep.
All right, let's talk about it. Tomorrow night, Miami of Ohio. You know, this got by me yesterday, live on the air, that's Ray Mears' alma mater. Shame on me. Because I knew that.
Didn't think about it either, Tony. Didn't think about it during that run they were having.
Shame on me. And Ray Mears played basketball there. He wasn't the greatest player in the world, as he will tell you. We were in a group text with former Vol great Rodney Woods, who listens to us, and he was sharing that, it's not always, it's the guys that aren't the best players that make the best coaches, Bino. The stars aren't good coaches.
No, it's almost never the best player that's a good coach, Tony. They haven't grinded through as many issues as average players.
That's right. What you're saying is Stephen Pearl might be a pretty good coach one day.
Oh, no question. I mean, look at his father. He was a mascot. He wasn't even a player. He was a mascot, and he approached the game that way. Still does. But let's focus on our task at hand here. I sure hope that B.J. Edwards plays. Now, there are people in Tennessee's camp that don't know if he's going to play. I think these teams right now, Bino, are all saying that all our guys are going to play like Duke's doing it. They're all doing it. You got to act like you're going to be at full strength simply because, first of all, you don't want to show the committee any weakness. That's the new thing now. That's what I'm understanding. That's the new thing now. And I don't know whether that's the case with B.J. Edwards or not, and if Duke's doing it, but apparently that's the new rage now, which I guess makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. I certainly hope B.J. gets to play. A quality young man, local guy. I hope he gets an opportunity to play in the NCAA tournament. He's
developed into a great defensive player there. He's all-league in the ACC on their defense team and one of their key players for SMU. And so your thoughts and Brian's thoughts, neither of you were on our draw show last night. By the way, our selection show will come up when we conclude today. It's about 90 minutes long. Matt was in here. Maury was in here. And Lee stopped by, Tennessee Lee, and they kind of broke it down. And C was at a friend of his birthday party, so he couldn't get free because he was supposed to come by and visit with us. But he's going to jump on this week and revel in the madness that is March Madness with us. But it is such a great, great, fun time. Truly, truly awesome time of the year. This is really wonderful. The festivities get underway tomorrow, 6:40 Eastern Time, as Maryland, Baltimore County takes on Howard. And then at 9:15 tomorrow evening, Texas takes on North Carolina State from the play-in round. And the following night, it's Prairie View against the Engineers of Lehigh. And then at 9:15 Eastern, a game we will maybe do a Garza Law basketball overtime after it if Bino consents. Miami of Ohio against Southern Methodist University. The winner advances to Philly. Tennessee thought they were going to be in the night session, as a source told me yesterday. But it ends up they put them Friday afternoon, which is really odd. It's really odd for them to seed your play-in winner that way. I'm just looking down at the card on Thursday, and on Thursday night, the play-in winners go in the 7 o'clock and 7:25 window. But on Friday, the play-in winner goes, Tennessee's play-in winner goes at 4:15 Eastern Time. 4:15 Eastern Time. And so I don't know what that's about, but I think that's an advantage, guys. A few-hour advantage. What do you all think?
I think the last time Tennessee was once involved as the play-in winner, having to play the 6 seed, so they've been on both ends of those. I think that year they had to play their Friday game in the afternoon, maybe the second afternoon window.
I think that's right, Brian. That's a pretty good memory by you. But in recent years, they've been staying away from that. And if you look at what they did Thursday, they stayed away from it on Thursday. We did the math. They have 36 hours. They're going to have 36 hours by the time they get to Philly before the time that game starts. Not 36 hours. They're going to hit the ground in Philly about 4 Eastern time. That's if they get out of there at a decent hour. You think about how long it takes to play these basketball games now, 2.5 hours. That's if they tip it at 10 Eastern time, Bino, on Wednesday night. That is a real advantage for the Vols, no matter who they play.
Yeah, I think it is, Tony. I was surprised at that as well. I figured that they would get the play-in winner would get the night slot, but that's not the way that it worked out. So I do think that's an advantage for Tennessee.
Just a really, really great sports day all the way around yesterday, marred by the managerial job that wasn't done in the Tennessee baseball game. No offense to Josh Elander, but, first impressions are lasting, and for a lot of people, that was the first time they really took a look at the Tennessee product. Of course, we've been watching it every inning like sickos, but if that was your first impression and you watch that Sunday game, thank goodness for Chef Boyardee, they were on opposite the fifth major. Bino, that's some of the worst baseball managing I've ever seen in my life to let that Krenzel guy stay out there. You could see the inning before when he wiggled out of trouble that he didn't have it. You could really see it in that. I couldn't believe they left him out there. I can't believe they let him pitch to that kid that has 14 home runs. That kid lashed that ball back through the middle like easy money. I mean, this guy had nothing. And by the way, I love the Krenzel kid. But here's the thing as a manager. Some days you're hot and some days you're not. Jerry Reed, and when you're hot, and when you're not, I'm going to walk out there and I'm going to take the ball from you. And here's why I'm going to take the ball from you. I got to get this off my chest right now. That aggravated the hell out of me yesterday. The reason I'm going to walk out there and get the ball from you is my team's played well enough to win 2 out of the 3 games. They've responded on the road. They've come up with some key hits. I've got a 5-2 lead right now, and I got ducks on the pond. And I'll be damned if I'm going to let you pitch after you've already shown me you're leaking oil. And they leave him in there to give up a 3-run Jimmy Jack, then they go get him? Anybody could see that kid was struggling. What in the hell was that yesterday? You have a full bullpen, and that's what you do? And by the way, to Josh Elander, I'm not saying anything about you that I wouldn't have said about Tony Vitello, because I rip him on here when it was time to rip. That is awful. Just horrendous. I hope they learn from that. It's not even the you make a bad decision or whatever. That's baseball. You make the wrong decision. That's baseball. That right there, that's not baseball. That was awful. Awful. You can't do that to your guys. You can't do that to your guys. But I got that off my chest. I feel better. Bino and Bri, what'd y'all think of that coaching malpractice yesterday in that game? Because I will not cover for stuff like that. I will not, whatever the term is, sheep it up. I will not be a party to it. I just can't believe it. I couldn't. They have a full bullpen. They had a full bullpen. The other teams already pitched 5 guys. They're out there on baling wire and duct tape. The only way you could have lost that game is to do what they did yesterday. Made no sense. And there's so many good things about the baseball weekend, so many great things to take from it. I think the team's going to be fine. I hope this guy grows in that area because he did it in the UCLA game too. When you have a relief pitcher out there, Josh Elander, please, and he doesn't have it, you or that pitching coach, Reynolds, go out there and get him. Can't do that to your people, man. Beanstar, your thoughts?
Yeah, Tony, I've often said on here, I think the hardest thing to do and the easiest thing to criticize is the way someone handles their pitching staff. Mm-hmm. Josh Elander's brand new at it. Hopefully he's going to learn. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought, and I said going into the series that I would take one game.
Yep.
Just don't get swept. And Tennessee did hit the ball much better than we've seen them. Mm-hmm. And as you said, they got good starting pitching, and their bullpen had been good, and their bullpen had been a strength the entire season so far. But yeah, yesterday was a mistake on Elander's part. It was easy to see that the only way Krenzel was going to throw a strike was for it to be a cookie. He wasn't going to throw any pitcher strikes. He just didn't have it for whatever reason. And yes, they left him out there way too long. I wound up being somewhat disappointed that we didn't win 2 out of 3 just because of the way the game went yesterday. But I'm like you, I saw enough good things that I believe I feel better about this team coming out of that Georgia series than I did going in.
And that's a true story because Heflin was on our Garza extra innings, which comes your way, by the way, Sunday after the Missouri season finale. Please listen in, bookmark it, get there. Those of you with YouTube, turn on your notifications when we go live this week, some of our specialty programming. But I just thought that was unbelievably bad. And here's where I'm at. People are going to be looking at this guy and going, hey, we had an unbelievably special coach, and I do believe that Elander is a very good baseball guy. I can't understand how you let that happen. I mean, I would love to know what the thought is. What in the world could you possibly have been thinking when you're a baseball guy? You've been watching baseball all your life. That kid did not have it. And he was not going to get it, by the way. He was not comfortable out there. I don't know if it's the rain or the spot or he just woke up and he didn't have it. But his velo was down 5 miles an hour. They have guns in these parks. Come on, man. It was obvious. And Bino, my thing is, look, if you win 1 out of 3, fine. You've done what you need to do in that league. But when you have the game in your hand and it's 5-0, that's a vol scar, Bino.
Yeah, it is. The way the game came about makes not winning the series hurt quite a bit. And I think this is a full new staff thing too, Tony. I don't think Vitello was great.
No.
As far as pitching decisions,
no.
But he had Frank Anderson who could go to him and say, "Hey, this is what we have to do." And Tony was going to do that. I just don't know with a brand new pitching coach and a brand new head coach if they've got all that kind of pieced out yet. So I'll give them some grace on that until we see this happen again.
Yeah, absolutely. But I agree with you, Bino. I saw so much fight from that team. I saw some old schoolness from them when that backup catcher let that ball hit him in the sternum on Friday night. We were in here doing a listener watch party. That fired me up, focused me, and prepared me like no other. I mean, I was absolutely jacked through the roof when I saw that. And the way those kids
they
came
took
back,
a lot more quality swings in big spots, Tony. And I know it's embarrassing what happened to Stone Lawless. But that's a really, really quality swing coming off the bench in that spot. And we hadn't been getting those. So all of that is really encouraging.
What do you think of Reynolds in that hoodie, Bino, with the hoodie pulled all the way up?
Well, looks
like
I know a guy in the audience that
he looks like he looks like a character off
a little bit.
He looks like a character off A Christmas Story.
Yeah,
I mean, what is he going for?
That seems like a minor thing, but I'm an old school guy. I don't want my pitching coach going out there with his hoodie pulled down.
It's 75 degrees. I mean, what are we doing?
It was raining though, Tony. It was raining.
You can't get some hair. You can't get some some water on your hair. I sit in the park when it's raining and know I'm going to change strings. I sit there and play music in the rain. Let the rain hit you. It feels good, man. Let it wash you away.
Well, these guys obviously aren't tough guys like you, though, Tony.
Interesting. I am so encouraged by this baseball team. So encouraged. I wish I could say the same about our basketball team heading into this tournament. I love the draw. If this basketball team was healthy and whole, I would love that draw. I would love them to maybe get to the Elite Eight with that draw. If this team was healthy and whole. Unfortunately, they're not. They're ground into fine powder right now, and I don't know how we get it back. I hope when the second season begins that, again, we're washed anew and ready to roll. I really hope wish that was the case. But this baseball team, man, I'm going to tell you a first-person story that yesterday when Will Heflin hit the airwaves, he was like in shock. And here's why. First of all, he hasn't been in here in a year, so I've got to kind of help him with the controls for the first couple weeks. Then he'll just come in here and turn this thing on and do the show. But yesterday we were sitting in here. He got here in like the bottom of the seventh. So we sat here and watched a game together, and we both couldn't believe, and as he said, you got to get your relief pitchers out of there. You just got to. You just got to. That's a non-negotiable. He said when guys don't have it, he said there'll be times I didn't have it. You want your coach to come get you. You're not going to have it every time you take the mound. And last time I checked, Tennessee doesn't have any Hall of Famers out there like a Trevor Hoffman or somebody that's going to wave you off. They don't have any of those guys. So you go get them. These are college kids. You go get them. I think I've made that point, Bino. Tony asked me one time when I was riding him about one of these deals, that game with Alabama one year. He goes, how many times are you going to bring that up, man? Just asking for a friend. I go, I don't know, Tony. I don't know.
We will turn the horse into Alpo every once in a while.
All right, so when that Lawless guy hit that ball and threw that bat down, Will jumped up and hugged me and screamed, the magic is back, the magic is back, the magic is back. We were high-fiving each other. And we looked up, and we saw that freshman was celebrating, and we could not figure out what happened. Am I alone in that? I thought we won the freaking game, Bino. Am I alone in that? I thought that was
I think everyone off the bat, Stone Lawless included, I thought we had taken the lead.
Oh, Lawless, the way he celebrated, he got just eviscerated on college baseball Twitter last night. People were having fun with him. That was one hell of a bat flip, slam down, your bat, exclamation point. If the ball would have cleared the fence, they might have thrown him out of the game for the celebration, Bino. The way the umpires are today. I'm kind of half not kidding. Yeah. He really slammed that bat down.
Yeah, it's an embarrassing moment for him, but it was a quality swing, and on another day it probably is gone. But
and by the way, when that ball got out,
great play by the outfielder.
It was an awesome play. He went over and got it, pulled it back in, and all right, Bino, one final thing before we go to the phones. How much World Baseball Classic did you watch last night, if any? Because I went upstairs.
Every pitch.
Did you? I went to sleep. I didn't see a pitch of it. How was it?
Oh, it was an outstanding game. In my opinion, the two best teams in the tournament played last night, and I actually think the Dominican Republic puts a better hitting lineup on the field than the United States does. But Skeens was great, and the bullpen was great. It was 2-1 game that the only runs were scored were solo home runs.
Yep.
On both sides, and just little things. Dominican had Austin Wells on second, and they hit a line drive that he thought that Witt might have a chance to catch, so he was going back to second. Wound up out there in the outfield. Should have scored a run to tie the game. I think it was the seventh inning, but just misread it off the bat, and who could or couldn't get it. Little things in those games, but it was a really, really good baseball game.
I'll tell you this, and NECA Dave makes a good point, not to be confused with NECA Dave, but NECA Dave over on I did see the highlight of Judge throwing that seed to third base. Yeah. One of the prettiest plays in baseball is the throw from the corner outfielder when they throw it right on the button and they gun a guy down. And I mean Judge threw that thing like it was late July. His arm, he let that thing rip. I didn't see a play of it. I fell asleep. I fell asleep in the back. After doing the show, I went and did the blog. My head was spinny. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to lay down, close my eyes, and then get up and watch a baseball game. And I woke up, and it was like 3 o'clock in the morning, and it was storming here. I got woken up with one of the loud booms. Did you guys get boom booms around you? And then we'll go to the phones.
Yeah, it was a lively evening.
Did you guys sleep through it?
It's pretty windy right now.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. It's pretty rough around here. I'm thinking that my fellow Tennesseans have been through enough weather-wise. I'm hoping this will get out of here. For those of the uninitiated, it's no joke. It's supposed to snow here tonight. I was walking in the park yesterday. It was 75 degrees. 75 degrees yesterday, and it's going to snow here tonight.
Does the weather yo-yo like this going from summer to fall? Or fall to winter?
No. And you know what
happens?
I didn't
think so.
You know what happens a lot of times around here, Bri, is it'll go from winter to summer. Sometimes we don't get a spring here. It just goes winter, summer. And in Pennsylvania, that's exactly what it does. Because you'll get games, if you'll notice, you'll get games there that get snowed out. Didn't USC get their streak broken over the weekend in a snowstorm? They were playing somewhere. Playing a Big Ten game in the snow somewhere, because it snows there, and in April games get snowed out, and then you look up there and it's all of a sudden it just goes boom. It's like summertime. And sometimes here that happens. I got my hopes up, guys, that we wouldn't get any more winter weather though. We had a good 3-week stretch, and here you go. By the way, tomorrow, it's wreaking havoc on my voice. Tomorrow, we're going to be live playing music at Calhoun's on the River. For St. Patrick's Day. So I just want to say to all my Irish friends out there, Aaron Gobralis, and Bino's a simpleton. He laughs at all the 9-year-old jokes. And we're going to come back on the other side. And G-Max Tapeworm has now entered the room. So this is going to be fun as we continue. First day of football spring practice. Matt Diskin is fired up, focused, and prepared, covering every ounce of that for you from pillar to post. And we're going to continue with more on the other side right after this. When it's time for your next move, you want to get your precious belongings from point A to point B with your peace of mind intact. That's why you need to call my friends at Gufon Moving and Storage, East Tennessee's moving legend. Gufon Moving and Storage has been helping East Tennesseans move since 1887. That's 138 years, 5 generations. That's even longer than the Dooley, Jones, and Pruitt era combined. Gufon Moving and Storage are pro movers, serving Knoxville, surrounding areas, and interstate moves too, both residential and commercial. And we'll provide you with personalized service that other corporate movers simply cannot. We know how to move all types of items. We pay careful attention to our clients' valuables. Your satisfaction as a customer is our absolute priority. As the oldest continually owned and operated family moving business in the United States, when it's time for your next move, it's Gufon Moving and Storage. And storage, it's secure and vaulted. Our newest offering of commercial storage logistics, we offer receiving, storage, and delivery services for all your business logistic needs. See more at Gufon.com. That's Gufon.com. Or check out the link at tclub.team. When it's time for your next move, East Tennessee's moving legend, Gufon Moving and Storage. Life never stops moving. And between the 30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, weekly soccer practice, Tuesday night yoga, X number of coffee runs, and that weekend trip to Grandma's, you're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up. A tire designed for doers. A tire that's going to last. Like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety and comfort you expect, you can forget all about the miles ahead and focus on getting to your destination or conquering your to-do list. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. That's Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire.
Inward Half is committed to the game and the memorable moments that happen in between. From the tee box to the tailgate, from the green to the big game. For the first birdie with Dad, the first big win with Mom. Friday night lights, Saturday superstitions, Sunday traditions. Fall into the comfort and unparalleled performance of Inward Half. This fall, enjoy the walk-in.
Are you tired of hiding your smile because of crooked teeth? At Knoxville Smiles, we've got the perfect solution. Invisalign. No metal, no wires, just clear, comfortable aligners that straighten your teeth without anyone noticing. Eat what you want, smile with confidence, and see results in as little as 6 months. Call us today for more information about Invisalign, 865-539-1776, or just visit us online at knoxvillesmiles.com. Smile brighter with Knoxville Smiles.
Fan Run Radio, where Big Orange Country comes to talk sports. Start your morning off with your daily dose of talk sports with John Reed and Cody McClure from 8 to 11. Then it's Tony Basilio from 11 to 1. The Playbook with William Pattison from 1 to 3. And The Drive from 3 to 6. It's 10 hours of hard-hitting local sports radio every day.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. From Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham, they've stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marco Scarza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. There are neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Start the new year with comfort and savings from Pipe Wrench Home Services. Tired of high energy bills and constant heating and AC repairs? Ready for a more efficient home? There's never been a better time to upgrade your comfort and take control of your energy costs. Upgrade your HVAC system now with Pipe Wrench Home Services and make no payments until 2027. A new energy-efficient system means lower bills, fewer breakdowns, and peace of mind for years to come. And with Pipe Wrench Home Services same-day service guarantee, you won't wait to start enjoying a more comfortable home. Your comfort isn't just our job, it's our promise. Upgrade your HVAC system now with Pipe Wrench Home Services and make no payments until 2027. Schedule your free estimate today at pipewrench.com. Pipe Wrench Home Services, trusted in Knoxville, Maryville, Oak Ridge, and neighboring communities for over 20 years. Same-day service guaranteed, or the visit is free. Offer good with approved credit. Some restrictions apply. Visit pipewrench.com for details.
Hey, I'm Alan at We Ship Floors on Bristol Highway in Johnson City. Are you tired of walking around on that ratty-looking carpet that you have? Well, today's your lucky day because we have Supercore on sale for $1.79. 58 colors we're liquidating. Supercore is the best waterproof floor with a lifetime warranty. Where are you going to find that anywhere else? Nowhere, let me tell you. $1.79 lifetime warranty. Come on down to Bristol Highway on your truck and trailer and let's make a deal.
Gotta love this time of the year. Hoops here, home runs over there, and you've got to get your Tennessee on. And there's only one place, the best place to shop for your officially licensed Tennessee Volunteer gear, Alumni Hall. Hands down, the best store for Vol fans. They've got the latest and greatest apparel for the entire family. Hats, man cave items, decor, and more. Get your Vols grill cover, a plate for your burgers, and of course, that chef's apron for all that outdoor grilling this spring. And accrue those rewards and watch your balance grow online or on the app. We'll see you at Alumni Hall and alumnihall.com and G to the B to the O, Alumni Hall.
It's always magnificent. Mondays on the Basilio Show, presented by our friends at Fleet Tire. I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. And now, back to B.
Two things as we welcome you back. We're getting some football talk in the over on the YouTube channel where you can follow along. There's 175 people in there right now. Thousands more consuming the show as they go. I want to shout out my main man who listens to the program. I shout him out from time to time, Gary Sturm Without a Warning. His lovely daughter, Heidi, said, Dad, I'm walking to class today and I'm listening to Tony discuss March Madness. And it's like 10 degrees here. Bino, is that a smart young lady or what?
Yes. Brilliant young lady.
Yep. Gary?
She won't be in a few more segments,
Gary
probably.
Gary says to her, she'll be like up there, studying late at night, and she'll text him and go, are you listening to the show? And he'll go, no, I'm not listening to that. And she'll be like, well, I'm listening to it. That's so cool, man. So cool.
That is cool.
Thank you, Heidi. That's awesome. Now, get back to work and don't pay attention to people like Maury Hanks when they're talking college basketball. Speaking of which, and then we'll go back to the phones. Now, we're getting some football chatter. People saying that G-Mac looks stacked, packed, and jacked. I don't know if I'd
G-Jacked.
G-Jacked. G-Jacked! I mean, last year you could literally see the guy's rib cage. So let's pump the brakes on him being jacked. But I hope he can quote unquote grow into the position. Breaking news, and shout out to James Daniel who survived me snapping on him and blowing him up the other day over on YouTube. James, I didn't mean to snap at you, buddy. I love you. You did urinate me off, though. So, Aiden Holloway, ranked second on Alabama's basketball team, averages 16.8 points per game. 16 points per game. Pretty good Alabama team. Involved in a traffic stop last week by University of Alabama police, according to a Tuscaloosa police spokesperson. Here's how this works, okay? So this guy was arrested last week. Brian, did he miss any of the SEC tournament?
I don't think so. Now, keep in mind, he transferred from Auburn.
Okay. That has to do what with what? Was he at Auburn's campus when he got busted with $5,000?
Well, Auburn transfers. Chad Baker-Mazara was asked not to come back this year at USC, and
$5,000, copious amounts of marijuana. Apparently, Aiden Holloway, though he has pretty good NIL deals, an enterprising young man. He wanted to, that whole adage of it takes a little money to make a little money. He was doing a little reselling on the side. Some of you are I like to resell junk. I like to go out and clear my brain with that. And he's a reseller. So he got caught with about $5,000 in cash. He got caught with some baggies. He got caught with a scale. Last week, got arrested last week. Here's how this works. Somebody in the media, you go through when you cover any kind of beat, you either get a tip or you just go through the police blotter, is what it's called. Everybody gets arrested, gets kind of put in the blood. It's public record. So I said, wow, Aiden Holloway. Huh. And you call over to the university today, as several news outlets have. Bama 247 says that University of Alabama police stopped him, and he was arrested last week. Well, Bri, what do you think, man? Bond set at $5,000, Bri. What do you think? Charge of first-degree possession of marijuana, and the failure to affix a tax stamp to it, Bri. Enterprising young man, Bri.
What Brandon Miller did, he didn't miss any games either. So why should, I guess in their mind, why should Holloway?
Enterprising young man, Bino, what do you think?
Yeah, you've got to think about your future.
And what do you think Skokan is thinking as he reads that? Old Jeremy Pruitt, when he reads that story. He's thinking,
I'm glad I wasn't a basketball coach there.
You better believe it. He's saying to himself, texting a buddy, going, you mean to tell me they arrested him for that? Imagine how much of that went on under Nick Saban that we never heard about.
Go ahead and do your civic duty.
NECA Dave gets quoted again. He said this guy's going to get an NIL deal with the Mary Jane Candy Company. That's pretty next level. Pretty next level. Bino, do you think Aiden Holloway plays when Alabama tips it off Friday at 3:15 Eastern Time over on True TV against the Hofstra Flying Dutchman? Yes or no, Beanstar?
I think he plays unless they tell him it is preliminary that he can't travel.
Pretty next level. So 865-200-5402 is the numero do. I love this Holloway guy. I'm for him, not against him, and he will absolutely be in uniform because he was in uniform this weekend. Oh, that's right. His head coach, Nate Oates, didn't know that he got picked up by the police. You think that, Bino? He got picked up by the police last week and played
wrong
in the
place,
SEC
wrong
tournament?
time.
Yep. Wrong place, wrong time, as Nate said. He said that after that murder, right, Bri?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Nate Oates cares.
I think Nate was in the dark. I don't think Nate knew.
Nate, no. He wouldn't have played him. Nate's a disciplinarian, man. Let's go to the phones. Bino, I think it's a very good draw. Let's get down to brass tacks here. I think it's a very good draw for the Vols if they're healthy. I just don't know how much of this basketball team is left after what we've seen here down the stretch. What do you think?
Tony, this is a guards tournament, and we've been pretty much short at guard from the jump. So I don't feel great about it. Hope I'm on here Monday saying, man, I will be happy to be dead wrong. But I'm just afraid we don't have the guard play to advance in this tournament. Enough.
Yeah, I wish I was a magical thinker. My hope is that Nate Ament can carry them. I looked at Ament on that one-day turnaround and heard what Rick Barnes said, which he said. We debated whether or not to play him today. He played 31 minutes. He looked absolutely roached on Friday. For Tennessee to get through this thing, he's got to be really good on Friday. And he's got to be really, really good on Sunday.
And I will say there's a big difference between playing back-to-back days and having a day in between, Tony.
I don't know.
He'll always have a day in between.
Yeah, I don't know for him. I don't know for him if that's a big difference. For most players, that's a big difference. He looked pretty fried. But here's the thing. Tennessee fan, cheer for Miami of Ohio in that playing game. There's a little piece of advice for you. And here's why. Tennessee will punish them down low. Absolutely punish Miami of Ohio down low. You want Ohio in that game. You want to take a team you can bully in the first round. You'll be like an 11.5-point favorite, something like that. We don't want to see SMU. Now, we'll beat SMU just the same, but you'd rather see Ohio. Virginia, we're going to unpack this week. Virginia gives me a little hope because their resume is pretty thin because they play in a league that's you can't build a great resume in that league. I just don't see how Carey functions in that game. I think that's a game he gets bullied around in and gets kind of lost in. And the other thing that they do that concerns me, and then we'll go to the phones at 865-200-5402, and this is if we're 100% healthy. The thing that they do that concerns me is they get downhill with their guards. And as we wrote in the blog today, Tennessee was going to get that point guard who grew up in Charlottesville. He's a great player. But when they made the change to Odom, they became big spenders. And that's how this whole portal thing happens, is you make these plans with these guys, and then teams come in and buy guys right out from under you. Nobody could have anticipated that. But that's a guy Tennessee was going to get, and that would have allowed Gillespie to play the 2 if that would have happened. Two things that they went to Gillespie about. They said, would you be comfortable with that if we bring him in? And he said yes. The second thing they did is when ZZ was flirting around with the idea of coming back, they went to him and said, would you be comfortable with that? And he said yes. So this Virginia team is long, and they're pretty freaking good. They're well coached. They do what they do, and their guards get downhill on you. And I'm worried about Bishop Boswell in that game as well on Sunday. If Virginia gets through their first round game, you never know. Bracket could open up for us. Bino, does Virginia concern you when you look at where we are right now? Is that kind of what you were saying before?
Yeah, they do. They concern me. They've got that. I can't bring up his name, but they've got a rim protector under there that basically, I think Boozer didn't score in the first half.
That's right.
The other night. So, he's going to, if we can't get him in foul trouble, he's going to give us some issues. And I think they're a very efficient team too.
Yeah.
They're not going to give us a whole lot. Yeah, that's a scary game for me.
Kid had, I want to say 9 blocks against Duke. Totally had Boozer completely befuddled. Boozer's brother carried Duke the other night in the first half, but basically he erased Boozer from the game. I think Boozer ended up something like 3 for 17. It's in the blog today. If you go over to tclub.team, we broke that thing down. I'm looking at that Virginia bunch, and I'm just, the thought occurs to me that's, this is a game of matchups. Now, that said, if you look at the other teams you could have drawn on that seed line when you're a 6, the other 3s you could have seen, I think that's the best 3 for Tennessee to see. And if
Michigan State,
yep,
Illinois,
yep,
Gonzaga, yeah.
And if you project out some of the other top, if you go to that round of 16, you got the best one there. If you want to think about getting to an Elite 8, that's the best of the 4 that you could see there too. My thing is, though, I'm just looking at the Vols, and I'm just saying to myself, as it is, they have 2 high quality at this point players. Now, look, I think this kid from Pittsburgh is going to be a great player. He hurt his ankle. We talked about it, and we're the only ones, okay? Before the tournament, SEC tournament, he hurt himself late in that Vanderbilt game, a week on a Saturday. And you could see it. He was impacted by that. He was not the same player. And so I say all that to say this. I hope these guys can heal between now and Friday. And I hope they get off their feet.
Well, they're going to be off for a week, so that hopefully would matter.
I hope so, Bri. But
having to play Friday and not Thursday is a huge deal, I think.
865-200-5402. I mean, this and Barnsley's never been a 6 seed since being here. Isn't that incredible? That he's been a 5 or better. Isn't that incredible how good this guy's been?
The closest they came to a Final Four was 2010. They were a 6 seed.
Yep, that's right.
They're having to go start in the Northeast like they did that year in Rhode Island.
That's right.
And they ended up going through St. Louis to the Sweet 16, which they're going to the Midwest should they get through the first and second round this year. Chicago.
This team's just all beat up, Brian. I hear what you're saying, and I love magical thinking. I'm for it, not against it.
I'm not predicting they're going to do that. No.
I'm just saying.
There's coincidences
This team's just all beat up, man. All beat up. 865-200-5402. If you'd have made me king, you would not have seen. I said, and I'm not second-guessing anybody. I'm not. But if you'd have made me king, you would not have seen my 2 banged-up players in that SEC tournament. I would have taken the Evans kid, and I'd have gotten him off his feet, and I sure as hell would not have played Ament as much as they played him. There was nothing left of him on Friday, like nothing. And Barnes even came out, honestly, after the game and said, we kind of thought about whether or not to even play him today. And by the way, if we'd have gotten it tomorrow, he was not going to play. Which I love that OG honesty from him. Oh, man. Genoy says, Tony, if we get to the Final Four, you got to shave your eye. Hey, Genoy, why don't you shave your damn eyebrows? Can I hold on to the last few follicles on my head? You commodian. Let's go to the phone. Bino, should I give him 10-minute misconduct for that, or does that not rise to the level of a foul, in your humble opinion?
No, I don't think that's worthy of 10-minute misconduct, Tony.
Back to the phones. I launched on that poor James Daniel IV guy the other day. I banned him for the weekend. I just launched on him, Bino, for no reason at all. Just no reason at all. Hey, listen, I want the bracket to open up, and I want craziness to happen. We all do. But I look at us, and I'm just like, man, it's so sad how beat up we are. And I know and people say, well, everybody's a little beat up this time of the year. Okay, that's fine. As beat up as we are? As beat up as we are?
Well, Duke is missing, at least one player.
They're missing a couple key players, yeah. They claim they're going to be back. Everybody's doing that now. That's the new thing. As we said earlier, let's go to the phones.
BJ Edwards may be out.
865.
Tennessee's not the only team.
865-200-5402 if you want to get in with us. I'd love to get your thoughts. If you're a fan of another team and you want to talk about your draw, if you want to talk about what SEC team you think is going further, if you want to talk about whether or not Bruce Pearl's got a beef and they belong in over Texas, if you want to talk about the Lady Vol draw that Bino was monitoring last night, which is why he couldn't be with us on the post game, a 7-10 matchup, the winner to play on the home floor of Michigan, a team that beat the Lady Vols earlier in the year in a really strange basketball game. Brian, am I right to say that was played around a holiday weekend, or was I imagining that?
That was the very first game of the season back on November 4th. And it's interesting. Tennessee is actually favored in this game by a point.
Right.
They're favored as a 10 seed over the 7 seed.
Well, it's the
lowest seed that the Lady Vols have ever had.
Brian, how you could take a payroll that's 5th in the country and coach them to a 10 seed? A 10 seed. Now that is an accomplishment. I mean, that's pretty next level, if you ask me. Imagine having that high a payroll and being a 10 seed. 10 seed. I kept looking for him, Brian, on the 8-9 line live on our draw show last night. I had it on.
Well,
and I'm going,
in a
well,
way,
not
it
in
might
LA.
be better off, although you're playing on someone else's home
You
court.
are better off.
You don't have to line up against a 1 seed like
Absolutely.
Connecticut or UCLA.
That's the weirdest thing, guys, about brackets, is that sometimes when you go higher up a deal, you miss. You do yourself a favor by losing a few more games. Bino, isn't that a weird thing about the whole bracket when you study these brackets?
Yeah, it is, Tony. That you could be a 6 and miss all these ones, be a 5 and have to get them if you get to the Elite 8. And unlike these other bracketologists, I'll admit when I was wrong, I was dead wrong. I had the Lady Boss playing Immaculata in the first game.
Back to the phones we go. Kathy Rush, Ed Rush, and Immaculata College. The Mighty Macs will never be forgotten by this living fan. Look it up, kids. Hello and welcome in. You're on our Monday edition.
Hey, Tony.
Hey, welcome in.
The best thing I watched, what a great championship weekend of basketball. But the best thing I think I watched was watching Rick Pitino and his Johnnies up there just put a butt spanking on that UConn team. And they're, you know what, I'm not going to use any bad language on your show, but you know what kind of person I think that guy is.
And you know what's amazing? They didn't move a minute off their seed line for that. But the minute Purdue won their tournament, the committee chair admitted that we jumped them a seed line for that. Isn't that kind of incredible? They didn't move them at all. They didn't move Vanderbilt at all after the weekend they had. But they moved those guys.
Arkansas.
I don't think the NCAA really likes Pitino.
I think you're probably right about that. And it is their tournament. You're right. He's kind of an outlaw. You're exactly right. And you're right, Brian, about Arkansas. Arkansas wins a tournament, and they don't move at all. It's like they don't even exist. It's very strange.
And they got royally screwed with their draw as well, having to get sent out to Portland on Thursday after playing Sunday.
Is that a way, Bino, to treat the SEC conference champion?
Yeah, I guess the committee was busy during the SEC tournament and then sat down and kind of watched the finals of the Big Ten. I'm not exactly sure. That St. John's UConn thing was strange because UConn beat them by about 30-something. It wasn't too long ago either.
And that St. John's bunch won the regular season in that conference as well after UConn got beat late. And then they turn around and beat them in the conference tournament, and they don't move off their seed line. I'm sitting there going, okay, well then why did we just play what are we doing here? But to your somebody said this a second ago. Rick Pitino literally is the best coach alive in college basketball.
Yes.
Yes. And in my lifetime, you can have Mike Krzyzewski and you can have Bobby Knight.
Coach K is probably the only person that you'd put above him.
Not me. Pitino's the best coach in my lifetime. And John Wooden doesn't count because he bought all his players, and that was a total ripoff and a joke. So I don't count that.
Now, you remember that team that he had at Louisville that won it? And
it was unbelievable.
They were so good.
Oh, yeah.
They could run up and down the court. I mean, they didn't get tired. That's like what Pitino said. Johnnies don't get tired. And let me tell you something. Rick Pitino coach teams don't get tired.
That night we saw them. Bino, you were with us, weren't you, when Paisan was on the bus?
I was not, Tony. I stayed behind to do the show.
That was a maul job. They mauled us that night, man. Just physically, just kind of. And it's a shame that Chris Lofton was going through what he was going through, which we didn't know about because he wasn't the same player that he had been. But, man, that team was so physical that night with Tennessee. Just so physical. That's the way the guy coaches.
Yeah, he's just a hard-nosed, old-school coach. And that's the kind of basketball I grew up on in the 90s.
Yep.
And that's the kind of basketball that I prefer to watch. I'd rather watch give me a 65 to 62 game any day of the week.
Rick Barnes is your guy, man.
He has been. I don't know about this year's not been as good.
Well, it's just not. It's not going to work every year. It's just the nature of the thing is you're always in flux. And again, they thought they had this point guard that we're going to see maybe Sunday if they get through their first round game, and if we get through, they thought they had him, and he's a hell of a player, man. But
you got to have your post players. I mean, locked in the whole game. And it seems like sometimes Okpara and Carey, it's like they just go aloof.
Well, Estrella does it too. He goes in and out too. All those guys, inconsistency is a hallmark of our club. I just find it remarkable that they coach this team to 22 wins. I just think that's a hell of a coaching job.
Yeah, it's not been a bad year by any stretch. Yeah. I mean, and another thing I wanted to touch on real quick before I go is I was going to ask you your opinion on that debacle we had down in Georgia and that 5-run inning.
Thank you, my friend. Listen. I appreciate your call. If you go back and listen to the first hour, because I don't want to get all emotional about that thing again. And if you want to check my blog out over at tclub.team, I don't mince any words. That was a horrendous job of coaching. Just horrendous. And I got to do some more coaching here. Bino, do you like when Dave starts telling me that it's a Tennessee sports show and that he was doing the Z during, as if he's falling asleep during that last call? Bino, is that a correctable offense in your humble opinion, or do we let that go?
Which Dave?
Dave.
Dave was
he didn't like that
now?
We were talking about other teams. Is he what?
Is Dave's producing now too?
Hey, Dave, Bino's right. Your ass is in timeout. You're getting a 10-minute misconduct from chatting. I will do the damn show, okay? You will sometimes call, and I'll reach for my Maalox when you do. And you are a punk and a clown. Don't tell me how to do the freaking radio show, you moron, you stooge. We come back on the other side.
Tony, I still got about a half a 55-gallon drum of red ass pills if you need a few.
As we come back on the other side, that baseball game really did me in. I was in such a good mood.
It is snowing, gentlemen.
Is it really? The whole thing urinates me off right now.
Mix.
As we continue with more right after this.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340 WKGN Knoxville and W289CU Knoxville. Fan Run Radio.
This just in to our breaking our Snowbird Studios, ladies and gentlemen. This just in. Danny White's celebration of the Everything School has been postponed for today. We continue with more.
It's the hottest post-game show on the planet. Garza Law. Fifth quarter fan reaction. Fan reaction. As soon as the final gun sounds, we're live.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Okay, so we really need uniforms and equipment for this season. Can I trust you with that? Cool, I'll just order them online. What? Yeah, I'm gonna hop online and I'm gonna get them ordered. Hold up, that's not a good idea. We shouldn't just spend money on some random online retailer, okay? I mean, it seems pretty convenient. Trust me, it's a terrible idea. Let me simplify this for you. SM Athletics. Okay, how do you pronounce it? SM Athletics? They're the go-to for uniforms and equipment, whether it's for universities, high schools, youth leagues, you name it. So why wouldn't you rather go with professionals who can guide us through the process, design the perfect uniforms, and deliver the best equipment? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. What's the name again? SM Athletics. Right. It's definitely smarter to go with a company that emphasizes customer service, fair pricing, and, of course, excellent products. Exactly. So, yeah, I guess it's settled then. For uniforms and equipment for all sports, it's SM Athletics.
When a dangerous, overgrown, or storm-damaged tree is threatening your home, your car, or your family, don't risk it. Call ECR Total Landscapes, your local tree-cutting experts. From precision tree removal and trimming to emergency storm cleanup, ECR Total Landscapes has the equipment and the experience to get the job done safely and efficiently. Call today to set up your free estimate, 865-384-2012, or just go online to ecrtotallandscapes.com.
Josh Collins at Collins Insurance Agency. At Collins Insurance, we strive to ensure our customers receive better coverage along with bigger savings. Our community is important to us. We want to provide exceptional service to our customers. Anybody can provide great rates, great coverage, but can you also get great service? And hey, don't just take my word for it.
What's up, everybody? Zakai Ziegler here. My family turns to Collins Insurance Agency for the best service, coverage, and price.
So don't just go online and get some random insurance. Experience the Collins Insurance difference.
Like he said, experience the Collins Insurance difference. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. And hey, their Mama's Easy approved. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. Thank you to Josh Collins and ZZ.
One more thing, Tony. Go Vols.
Yee-haw! I've been hooting and hollering ever since I started betting with the VIP Play app. VIP Play has more than 200 leagues, every bet type you can imagine, live betting and live hosts, all with 24/7 support from real live people when you need them. Start betting better with the VIP Play app today. Don't be a better, be a better with VIP Play today.
VIP Play coming soon. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-889-9789. Must be 21 plus and located in Tennessee to bet.
Achillio here, and you know my friends at Carnes Motor Company started with a dream over a quarter century ago. I met Rob and Brian back when I still had hair, and they were working at a huge dealership in West Knoxville. But they told me back then they wanted to sell cars on their terms, and I wanted to do radio on my terms. Their terms, just like my terms, are ultimately your terms. In both cases, you're the winner. A Car Guru's National Award winner with a 5-star rating on all sites, just like our Vols. Everything about buying a car from Carnes Motor Company is no hassle. They specialize in high-quality pre-owned vehicles between the $5,000 to $25,000 range. And if you need to sell a car, they'll either buy your car or they'll help you sell it. Carnes Motor Company also has a top-notch service department. Therefore, every vehicle
is rigorously inspected and serviced prior to delivery, so you're guaranteed to get a quality pre-owned vehicle every time. If you need a place for service, they've got you covered. Come be a part of the Carnes Motor Company family and tell them you heard about it from B. Online at carnesmotor.com, Oak Ridge Highway, 1 mile past the Carnes Light. Carnes Motor Company.
From the sunrise over the Smokies to the Saturday cheers at Neyland Stadium, Knoxville isn't just where we live, it's home. But let's be honest, finding your perfect spot in a hot market can feel like a full-time job. Whether you're looking for a Craftsman in 4th and Gill, a family home in Farragut, or a view in South Knox, the market moves fast. You need more than a listing. You need an edge. And that's where I come in, Jennifer Morris with Keller Williams Realty. And I specialize in helping Knoxville buyers win. I don't just find houses, I find the right fit for your budget and your lifestyle. Ready to unlock your front door? Visit nextmovesmokymountains.com or call me at 865-694-5904. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com. And as always, go Vols.
It's always magnificent. Mondays on the Basilio Show, presented by our friends at Fleet Tire. I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. And now, back to B.
TB back with you, 865-200-5402. Fired up, focused, and prepared with you. Negadave is, or Negadave rather, serving his timeout, not to be confused with Negadave, but we're going to go back to our phones. And the question is, what do you think of this March Madness? Going to be some March Madness, going to be some March Sadness. What are we going to have here? Talk to me. At 865-200-5402. Alabama gets a player arrested. He plays in the tournament. Auburn, I'm starting to think the tournament didn't even happen. Maybe it was a mirage. Arkansas wins the tournament, like Brian says, and they get an absolute screw job of a draw. And, Brian, you were talking off the air about just how bizarre that is. It's like it didn't even happen.
Yeah, they have to go out west of Portland, and they play a Hawaii team in the first round.
Yep.
But if they get through that, they've got to really – the Wisconsin, that's a potential second-round matchup for them, and that won't be easy at all.
Yep.
The other teams in that region, the 3 seed is Gonzaga, the 2 seed is Purdue, and the 1 seed is Arizona, who many think they're the favorite to win the whole thing.
Bino,
and
if
Arkansas
out there,
just gets to the Sweet 16, that's a hell of a – I mean, I think that's a good accomplishment for them.
Bino,
and I think Arkansas is really talented. I think they could go a long way in another – with a better draw.
Totally agree with that. Matt was saying yesterday they're the team in our league that you could really see. Them and Florida are the 2 teams you could really see making a run at this thing. Bino, would you agree that while they're in the Rose City, they ought to go see the Portland Timbers play a match if they can do that? Would you agree with that? As I shout out Mike in Portland, who gave me this shirt, which I love.
It would be on my agenda, Tony.
Thank you very much.
It would certainly be on my agenda. I looking at, I think the top 4 seeds in the West are the strongest of the top 4 seeds in any other region.
So that's your strongest region out there, Beanstar?
I think the top 4 in that region is the best group of 4.
Back to our phones we go. 865-200-5402. If you want to go back to our phones, the level of disgrace, the way they just treat these conference tournaments like they don't even exist. Why would you burn your... never mind. Hello, welcome in. You're on our Monday edition.
Hey, good afternoon.
Hey, afternoon to you.
Yes, sir. I've got a closing I wanted to pass along.
Oh, we got a school closing since we've got some snow in the
All
air.
right. Yeah. I did the Grant Perking Wealth Management Seminar that was going to be held at the Charles Ponzi Italian American Center. It will be canceled. There'll be no refunds. There'll be no refunds.
Very good. Well played by you. What do you think of Tennessee's draw? You high on the Vols coming into the tournament?
I am. I think we're going to see some old school Rick Barnes basketball. He's going to muddy it up and play some really good defense, and these teams are not going to see us. I'm looking for at least a Sweet 16, if not a Elite 8.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I think he knows how to coach in this. I think you're going to see this is what he's used to do.
I'll tell you this. If this team gets to the Sweet 16, it's a great coaching job. If it gets the Elite Eight, we ought to have a parade downtown for him. Because that'd be an unbelievable coaching job with the club we have.
Yeah, I would say if you get to the Elite Eight, this might be Rick Barnes' final year, maybe. But who knows? But, I like the hope springs eternal, and I think we're going to do very well.
Hey, why not? Yep.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, my friend. Good talking to you.
Yes, sir. You have a nice day.
Appreciate you. Thank you. Let's go back to our phones at 865-200-5402 so we get a school closing in. The all-everything school. What was the saying, Bri? Because I don't see him using the saying right. What's the thing? The everything school?
The everything school.
The Vandy beat us in everything school?
They're not going to beat us in softball, Tone.
And after next week, Bri, I hope they're not beating us in baseball. But the series is down there, Bino. So we have a chance for this to be the Vandy beat us in everything year, Bino.
Yeah, let's just hope this is a blip on the radar here, Tony, and get back to normal.
I don't think Vandy plays softball, do they, Bri? Do they have softball team?
They don't. That's why I say that they're not going to beat us in softball.
See that? W. Lynn, he's
guaranteed.
He made a funniest. W. Lynn now joins the party.
How are my French compatriots doing today?
Welcome in, brother.
What's up, W. Lynn?
Yeah, that's grounds for throwing them out of the SEC in my book. They don't field a softball team.
I think we ought to field
nowhere to put a stadium.
I think we ought to field a gymnastics program. Yeah, they barely have enough room for their baseball stadium. They don't even have lavatories there, W. Lynn.
They could do like we did at Inskip Norwood Ballpark, just pull the bases up and move them in about 30 feet, run on the play softball on the baseball field.
So next level back in the day. I remember those days.
You had to move them for all the different age groups.
Yep. Bino, you remember that as a kid, how you had to play in the big ballpark and they would move the bases up, and it was so disorienting to your senses to do that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, I worked on the ball fields for 5 summers in Oak Ridge, Tony, and if it went from baseball to softball, you always had to move the bases.
Yep, we used to do that, and I'd ask my uncle, now, we gonna measure these out, and he goes, nah, just eyeball them. And I was like, okay, we gotta hurry. That 9 o'clock game's coming up. We gotta hurry here.
Yeah. Hey guys, one thing I think's crazy about this bracket. I'm okay with where we are, but speaking of them not watching the SEC tournament, how can you have 10 teams in from the SEC? We have 4 in our bracket, 3 in the West, 3 in the South, and 0 in the East, where Duke and Connecticut are. Shouldn't there be a rule that if you have 8 or more, you spread it out 2, 2, and 2 at least?
Yeah, W. Lynn, I was a little bit surprised, and I'm sure they were trying to reward UConn by putting them closer to home in the East. But I thought that they would put Florida and UConn in the same region, simply because that was pretty clearly the last 4 in the first 5. But
right,
I guess they don't do those kind
of
things.
Yeah, when you get down below the 1 and 2 seeds, you ought to be able to spread these teams out from the same conference.
Yeah.
And another thing, we need to build, an arena in Chattanooga and have it apply for NCAA status for the first and second round every year, because they send 6 seed North Carolina, same seed as us, to Greenville, South Carolina. What's that, a 2-hour drive at most? I mean, it's like they might as well call that Greenville Arena the ACC NCAA Arena.
They've got Duke and Carolina there.
Yeah.
Not in the same
give
bracket,
me a break. And I tell you what I wish they'd do. They have 8 sites for the first and second rounds. I know they'll never go to the top 16 teams, home sites, but they ought to have 16 sites with 4 teams in each site and geographically spread around where you could at least drive to maybe your team's first or second round game. You could have 16 sites instead of the 8 we have now. What do you guys think about that?
Bino?
Yeah, I mean, it would make perfect sense, W. to, after they went to the pod system, they tried their best to kind of keep teams closer to home. If you added those sites, then you could certainly accommodate more teams in that way.
And I look at some of the arenas too they pick. I mean, boy, Buffalo, New York, that's a hotbed area for college basketball. Give me a break.
Damn, W. Lynn, you're on fire right now like in Fuego.
I guess, W. Lynn, I guess a lot of that's television stuff in that they don't want to run 16 crews out somewhere to broadcast games.
Hey, we got a couple of guys they can use. Who was that guy that called one of our games? Will Clark or something, or Perry
I
Clark.
love
Yeah,
Perry Clark. My gosh, he's fantastic.
And they can get fish back, and we'll get enough crews for them. But I'm okay with where we are, guys. I hope I'm like you, Tony. We got a whole week. Let's kind of rest these guys. Let's don't do anything hard in practice.
They look look pretty burned to the nub, W. Lynn, didn't they?
They do. They do, and I can tell people. Like I said, they might not officially be on an injury list or whatever, but they're not 100%, and we need everybody to 100%. If our team had ever been 100% all year, like it was, I guess, when we beat Louisville, the sky's the limit. But it's going to be tough to get further than the second round. I don't know a thing about Virginia, but I assume they're pretty good if we get out of the first round.
Yeah, they're pretty good. That's going to be a real handful for us. Now, it's a winnable game.
Yeah.
But we've got to have a consistent 40 minutes from everybody to win a game like that.
And, it doesn't take but a few wins to we play that silly neutral country above us, Kentucky.
There you go.
And, of all things, maybe that'll, they can beat us twice during the regular season. We'd have to beat them in that game.
Got a piece of news for you, W. Lynn. Kentucky's going home when they get on the floor with Santa Clara.
With Santa Clara.
Yeah, they will not. They're going to pack rather light for the tournament.
Well, I hope you're right, but if they don't, boy, I'd love to see Tennessee State upset Iowa State and then beat them.
There you go. Tennessee State over Kentucky. Where do I sign up for that? W. Lynn, thank you. Yeah, I think that, guys, let's just go through some of these games. I really think that Kentucky is going to be in trouble in the first round. They've kind of been begging for it all year, Bino, and I think they're going to get it. Friday in the first game. I want the Kentucky fan to understand this, okay? Kentucky.
The Mid-Cats.
Kentucky is a curtain jerker, okay? Y'all are an opening match. Y'all are a preliminary match now. True story. I'm just kind of spitballing last night when we're doing the draw show, and we're trying to figure out, hey, because the first thing that you learn is the team and where they're going. So then you get on the air and you talk about it. And then invariably, when do you think we're going to play comes up. And you start looking at the other teams that were slated to play on Friday. Bino, silly me. The first thing I said is, they're probably going to want to take Kentucky and put them in prime time. And they're in Central Time anyway. So they could probably put them in that 8 o'clock time slot rather comfortably. And, get a pretty good TV number for it. No. 12:30 start. 11:30. I'm sorry. My bad. 12:15 start, 11:15 Central Time. You talk about somebody that's disappeared off the national landscape. You talk about a program that's yesterday's news. You talk about a program that's passé. You talk about a program that's over for. You talk about a program that doesn't matter. You talk about a program that's put the mid in mid and the mid in mid cats. If that isn't mid, you tell me what that is. 11:15 local time? A curtain jerker on Friday? An opening round game? I mean, the only thing they didn't do is draw Frank Williams from Columbo, Ohio. I'm Frank Williams, Columbo, Ohio. I'm Frank Williams, Columbo, Ohio. Bino,
who the hell is that?
Exactly. He's a jobber wrestler. And Roddy Piper said to him, have you ever won a match? He goes, I get in that ring. He goes, yeah, you get in that ring, and you get beat every time you get in the ring. So Piper told him. I'm Frank Williams, Columbo, Ohio. He said, well, you... And then Piper said to him, you ain't got no room for nobody. He goes, no, I don't run from nobody. Piper goes, you don't got no time for nobody. And then he proceeded to throw him through his... look up Frank Williams, look up Piper's Pit Frank Williams. You all will laugh. You don't have to be a wrestling fan. Bino, you would hee-haw laugh at that if you saw it.
I've watched some of those that you've seen.
Oh, with on
yeah, they're funny.
Columbo High. Bino, how about Kentucky going off at 12:15? I was so used to thinking about Kentucky mattering. Obviously, you don't matter when I'm putting you on at noon on a Friday.
Yeah, well, I mean, when we're unaccustomed to Kentucky being a 7 seed, Tony. So that is what it is. What site did they send Kentucky to? Where's Kentucky at, Brian?
They're in St. Louis.
St. Louis.
And
okay.
Think about this. That's going to be a tough ticket because you got Iowa State there, Purdue there.
You got Missouri.
Is just they're 125 miles down the road, and they're in
Missouri?
They're a 10 seed.
How about Missouri as a 10 seed? How about Missouri as a 10, Bino, staying at home? How about that, Bino?
Yeah, I don't think that they earned that by any stretch.
I don't quibble with the committee, though, because it's a tough job. Like W. Lynn's over here. He wants 16 different sites. I mean, W. Lynn, I love you. I'll tell you this, brother. I'm glad I'm not married to you. Because you complicate things. Can I say that, Bino, in love to him?
Oh, yeah. Because
he probably thinks,
Lynn knows that.
He probably thinks I would love to be married to Basilio when he listens to me. He's probably thinking, man, I wish he was a woman. Basilio would make a really, you know. I'm sure I'm a big, fun guy to be around. Laura and I are getting ready to celebrate 35 years of this.
Congratulations.
On, let's see, the 23rd. Yep, 35 years.
23rd of this month?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Happy anniversary.
Back to the phones, 865-200-5402. Let's go back to our phones and get our next call in. Negadave owes us dinner, and I owe Negadave dinner because... So that might cancel out our dinner, Bino. Because Negadave, he and I bet, he said Bishop Boswell will be the starting 2 guard. I said, in whose world? He was right. But then he doubled down and said something about total. What was his bet, Bri, about total wins with our team? Do you remember, Bri?
Tennessee would finish under 500 in the conference.
Yeah, 500 or worse. They finished 11-7. So,
I
think he said under 500 because I believe we had figured out if they finished 9-9, that was a push.
DJ Special Needs says Basilio will be selling 35 years. Laura, several question marks. Let's go to our phones. Hello and welcome in. Sammy said with 35 years, you get a lifetime contract. It's a pretty good line. Hello and welcome in. You're on our Monday edition. Hi.
I'm on.
You sure are.
Hey, man. Boy Billy from Harriman. What's up, boys?
Hey, Billy boy. Welcome in.
Hey, like my girl Linda Perry once said, Tony B., what's going on, baby?
Linda Perry?
Hey, you ain't up on music as much as I thought, man. Look it up. Hey.
You mean from the band
I
Perry?
thought Marvin Gaye was what's going
Yeah,
on.
Marvin Gaye did What's Going On.
More than one people got a saying, bro. Hey.
Oh,
is that
is she for non-blondes?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
We play that song. I love that song. That song goes like this. Hang on. I'll do this. YouTube won't blast us. We play this song. Let's see it goes. Let's see it goes. That's a great tune. So that's her name, huh? Linda Perry.
Thought you knew music, dude. All you know is ball.
Did she write that?
Ball.
Did she write that?
Yeah.
That's a great song. Hey,
incredible
yay,
song.
Yay, yay. That's a great song, man.
All right, man. Hey, according to you, sounds like Kentucky's going to be playing their first game in some Jordan 1 mids. You know what I'm saying?
No question. They're going to bring back those jorts they had earlier in the year. Did they play us, Brian, in those jorts, or was I imagining that and still beat us?
Yeah, I think that was jort night.
Mm-hmm.
All right, man. But it's tournament mode, man. I love my BYU boys. So I was reading up about their $7 million man, DeBonsa. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
I'm on YouTube. BYU is, a little different culture out there, bro. They got some weird stuff going on, unique stuff.
Yes.
Mormons, I love them.
Yes.
But, man, I'm watching DeBonsa, then I'm watching some video of BYU, then I'm in the dorm room, interviews in the student hall, all that. I mean, they keep talking about something called a NCMA. NCMA is what it stands for, non-committal makeout. All them BYU students kept talking about it, man. And I'm just saying, man, funny phrase, but I wouldn't mind one in myself, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, around here they call it
makeout.
They call it friends of benefits. Hey, here's the other thing. Did you guys realize that former Vol great Lou Evans is getting ready to be on, I want to say, The Bachelorette?
Yes, he is.
And The Bachelorette this time around is a Mormon gal who was on the Real Housewives of, like, Salt Lake City or the Real Mormon. I don't follow all that stuff. Anyway, apparently she's an apple, a pear, and a plum, and a peach. And apparently she's a real piece of work, if you will. And Lou Evans is going to be vying for her hand here at the end of this. Will you watch that? Will you watch Lou Evans?
I will not watch that, but I wanted to touch about something I did watch, which might have been the biggest thing of the weekend that nobody's been talking about.
Hit it.
My girl Jordan Hudson. Cheers for Charity National Championship Team Competition. Jordan, Bill B's Hot Young Thing National Championship over the weekend. I watched that on my free Tubi trial this weekend, man. And, she was killing out there. And if I go down that Bill Belichick path, I'm not saying I won't. My wife, she's going to be born here in about 8 years. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I got to get back to work. Y'all be good, Tom.
Boy, Bill, he say... Did Jordan Hudson really cheer over the weekend, Brian? It sounds like something you'd know.
I don't know who that is.
Hoosier Vol said, I'm going to assume that this guy... I can't say that. How about my man, Lou Evans? My man, Bino.
Sweet Lou.
Let's go, man. He can't be, well.
You think he'll get to the Final Four, finally?
Yeah.
Interesting. Was he, I don't remember, was he?
Maybe he can get to a Final Four.
Was he a pretty good player here, Bri?
He seemed to be like a stretch forward that could shoot the three, that was a post player, like, I think, kind of a slower version of Fulkerson, but he was pretty effective when they played him.
He was a stretch, all right. Hello and
welcome.
He
played with Grant Williams Grant's freshman year, I think.
He kind of blew. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Blue Evans.
Hey, Tony, it's Zach.
Hey, Zachy, what's up?
Boy, Billy, that's a tough act to follow.
Yes.
All Are you going to be watching this Bachelor? Or are you going to be having bachelor parties or bachelorette parties or whatever they call that show?
I literally,
you know, where all the people.
I wouldn't watch that if you took my eyelids and propped them open with toothpicks. I would figure out a way to roll my eyeballs into the back of my head.
I can proudly say I have never watched a single episode of any Real Housewives.
No.
Any Bachelor.
Listen, I listen to wrestling podcasts, so I'm not going to judge anybody for anything. I watch Spring League football. I watch National Lacrosse League. I'm not judging anybody for anything they watch, but I'm not going to sit there and watch that nonsense. That's got to be that. You have to feel like somebody's taking your brain and pulling it out of your head and then putting it back in your head.
Yeah.
Right?
As Tony Soprano said, that's what's turned these kids' minds into mush nowadays.
There you
go. Let me ask you something. Why? I saw somebody make a comment in the YouTube thing saying that Darius Acuff's in a walking boot most of the days. Why are we so fragile and in need of rest for this particular team? Is it just, are we not conditioned right? Because this Medenwall guy has really had a pretty nice run without getting injuries, and I mean, I'm just curious as to why we need so much rest.
Well, you have nagging injuries. I mean, that's why. And look, with these high end guys, you need them out there.
Yeah,
you need.
I mean, I'm dealing with Achilles tendonitis right now, and I feel it. I mean, I get it. Trust me.
Yeah.
But these are 22. Yeah.
Well, no. These are highly tuned athletes going 1,000,000 miles an hour, jumping and cutting.
What do you think I am?
Any type of injury, though, like that on these guys, that's why you put them in a walking boot. That's why they have masseuses around the clock to try to keep their muscles loose, to keep them out there. You know, look, this thing about Nate Ament's soft, or Nate Ament's not soft. Nate Ament's
I've never said that.
No, I'm saying anybody that would say it. Nate Ament's been beat up all year, and he plays to contact. He tries to initiate contact.
He seeks it out.
Yes, he's a very tough guy.
I agree.
Zach, it's college basketball in March. We don't have any problems that other people don't have that are still playing.
Yeah. Except that we have a short roster and a team that wasn't built well, and our two of our key players are pretty beat up. But other than that, it's great.
Yeah, it's great other than all that horrible stuff you guys have been talking about.
Yeah. Look, Arkansas has a lot more team around Acuff than we have around our freshmen. Do we agree with that?
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah.
Which just makes me wonder, I don't know if it's just me, but it seems like we're always a shooter short. Even when we had Lanier, or even, and it wasn't really because we didn't bring anybody in, but like the Connect year, that's when Vescovi went into his kind of little front.
Really strange.
Lanier, we had Lanier, but really Lanier was our only shooter last year, and we had one of the European guys we didn't mention was Isevich last year, who was supposed to be like a stretch guy, and he never really panned out. But on, as Josh says, on the way out, in 1986, I was lucky enough, my dad, who was a wonderful man, he took me to wrestling WWF up here in Bristol.
Wow.
And the card was Hulk Hogan, I want to say Junkyard Dog, and a guy named the Dingo Warrior. I didn't know this until a couple years ago. Do you know who the Dingo Warrior became?
Yeah, sure. That's the Ultimate Warrior, Jim Hellwig.
The Ultimate Warrior. Yeah. I saw the Ultimate Warrior in '86 up here in Bristol before he was the Ultimate Warrior.
You may have also seen Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, who now lives in Maryville and is a big Vol fan who comes to a lot of things.
I'll take that. Boy, there's a lot of Vol wrestling connections.
Oh, are you kidding?
And Mr. Fuji that worked at the
I loved Harry. I got to know Harry when he was here. He was so fun. What a great guy.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Thank you, my man.
Tony.
I miss Harry. Harry Fujiwara. When I would get him on, I go, Harry, why don't you do a little bit of that dark side? He go, Fuji-san-se, Tone. And he would do this whole little bit. He could really get into it. Really quiet man. And wrestling had really destroyed his hips. He could barely get around. Those guys pay a price for that.
Oh, boy.
That's rough, Bino. Polly Joe's next vet appointment, Bino asked the following. Would you rather your son play football for Georgia, basketball for Bama, or softball with Dave? Bino, you can speak to that. You've seen Dave on a softball field.
Dave was an excellent softball player. Excellent.
Would you rather your son play football for Georgia, basketball for Bama, or softball with Dave? You didn't answer the question.
I'd rather my son play softball with Dave.
Back to the phones we go. Hello and welcome in. You're on our...
I think that the great snapper used to say he'd rather have a sister working in a brothel as a brother playing football at Alabama.
Let's freaking go. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Tony?
Yes.
It's Magnum.
Hey, Maggie.
What's up, Mag?
And shout out to Maggie, too. Don Nathan's Maggie. Shout out, Maggie.
And speaking of softball, I mean,
Oh, no. Here we go.
remember going and watching my dad's games when I was in diapers and Bino out there.
Oh, no.
Throwing the leather.
Is that true?
He and my dad played softball.
Really? Is that really true?
My dad was really young when I was born. Yeah.
I would venture to say that Bino, because you view those people when you're a kid as really star athletes. I would say that Bino was probably a champion in your eyes at one point, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then he was still playing when I got to play.
You were a champion in their eyes.
And Bino was still playing when I got to play.
Yep. Champion in your eyes.
After high school.
Yep.
But what I called about, Tony, is we got to talking, a friend of mine down here, about what, that we would watch the games sometimes during the day. The teachers, we had that, we had TVs in the room, and the one that I remember the most, and I got to researching it, was the 1988 tournament. Because I got to thinking about Mark Macon and Hersey Hawkins and all those guys.
It's going to rip my heart out right now.
Yeah.
You son biscuit.
Yeah, your Temple boys were number one, or the 1 seed going into that. And made the final 8. I mean, they didn't
appreciate you sharing.
Do bad, but
I'll never forget. It's a sunny day here in East Tennessee, sitting with the great Rob Philo, whose son's going to start at quarterback for Florida. He was my Philly connection here. We were sitting there. We were both huge Temple fans as kids. And we're sitting there, and finally Temple that year went to North Carolina and ripped their damn hearts out. Just beat them by like 30 points. It was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Went to Fog Allen Fieldhouse that year and ripped them apart. Do you remember that, Bino, how good Mark Macon was as a freshman?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they went out there against Duke, and I mean they choked. It was one of the worst choke jobs of all time. Like they've never been in a game. They had who was it?
Yeah, they lost 63-53.
And that annoying Jay Billis was on that team. That was annoying AF. They scored 53 points. It was absolutely disgusting. It was I'll tell you this. I can still remember what that day felt like when we walked outside. We were shooting hoops. Back there behind where Melrose, not Melrose, but back there, God, what was that dorm, guys, that was right next to where Hess was, Bino? You remember that they had a little courtyard in there that had a basketball court. But I can still remember the feeling of pain. When you have really high hopes in March,
yeah,
and they get dashed, like last year's Tennessee team, When you go out there and you face Houston and you get beat in that game, imagine if you played in that game and played like you've never played before. It's one thing to play and lose. 2 years in a row, Tennessee didn't play badly. They just ran into better basketball teams. Imagine losing to that crappy Duke team we did. It was disgusting.
Yeah, but like Hersey Hawkins and Bradley, they played Auburn. They were an 8-9 deal.
Oh,
They
Hershey
lost.
Hawkins.
Okay, but it was a hell of a game.
Yep.
And Auburn had Chris Morris, and it was.
Love Chris Morris.
But like Hersey Hawkins, I didn't even realize he's still a top 10 all-time scorer in college basketball.
He was an unbelievable player at Bradley.
He averaged like 30-something points a game.
He was unfreaking real at Bradley.
Yeah, and what surprised me, I knew Kansas won it that year. Danny and the Miracles. They were a 6 seed, and they had a coach who had been a long time good coach who couldn't get over the hump.
Yep.
It's a sign, Tony.
Thank you, my friend. Good talking to you.
We're winning it all, cutting the nets down.
Okay. Hey, I'm all. Bino's all for it. Bry's all, and I got time for it. I'm gonna say for the record, I got 6 long Garza Law post-game shows. We'll do 3 hours a night. If you promise me we'll win it, we'll do 3 hours a night. Melrose Hall. Thank you, Grim. I knew it was Melrose. I said Melrose, right? Yeah, Melrose Hall.
Yeah, you did say Melrose.
And I thought it can't
Tony,
be.
it's interesting you would talk about your experience after Temple got beat.
Yep.
I did the same thing. The day Syracuse beat Tennessee's team, we went out and I always went home on the weekends, so I wasn't on campus.
Yep.
But we went out to play basketball after that game, and my buddy said, listen, you're always mad when Tennessee gets beat. This is the first time I've ever seen you totally despondent. And I told him, we can live to be 100 years old. We will never, ever see 2 players here at the same time like Bernard and Ernie. And I'm 70% of the way there, and that's still true.
Amen to that, brother. And I'll tell you this, when you have a great team and you know you have greatness in front of you and you get beat in that tournament, I don't think there's a worse feeling in sports. And I think that whoever coined the term March Madness is great because it stays with you. It gnaws at you. James Daniels in here saying, look, we played awfully against Houston last year. Look, Houston, you weren't going to beat them. You just weren't. And you have to say that. When you face a team that's physically better than you, they're just physically better than you. And he said, and no one except Kinect and Estrella showed up against Purdue. Okay, that's Derek Dooley noted. Here's the problem. They don't call 3 seconds in college basketball anymore, and they haven't for several years. And Purdue had a kid that lived in the lane 10 seconds at a time that was 9 feet tall, and nobody could handle him. And so we have to come to grips with that as well. But when you're better than somebody, clearly better, and you lose in that tournament, and I'm not sure either one of those Elite Eights qualifies that. Now, that Pearl team came closer than any team in school history to go into the Elite Eight. And they were a couple of missed foul shots away from it. Or going to the Final Four, rather.
Final Four. And
they were a missed front end of a 1-and-1, which Brian loves so much, away from it. And, the pain of that, I was in much more pain that Sunday afternoon after we got beat by Michigan State than I was the last 2 times. I was in much more pain the night we lost to Purdue up in Louisville than I was the last 2 times we got beat in the Elite Eight. I appreciated getting the Elite Eight the last couple of years. They lost to better teams, in my mind. I mean, it's all in the eye of the beholder. That night Tennessee let that white flight Purdue team beat them was just unbelievable. And you know why it was unbelievable? Because Purdue is a bigger choker in March than we are coming into that deal. That's fact. And we opened the door. Did they go to the Final Four that year, Bri? Because the joke's always on us.
Virginia beat them
in
miraculously in the Elite Eight, and then they miraculously got past Auburn and won.
That's exactly right. That was the year, because that's a year that we got demolished by that Auburn team after beating Kentucky. I'll never forget that as long as I live. We beat Kentucky in one of the greatest basketball games you'll ever see. You could take that thing and put it in a time capsule and say, this is what college basketball was, and show that thing 100 years from now.
I'll tell you, a painful one for me was when you let Sister Jean's team,
unbelievable,
who couldn't play, the bracket opened up for you.
Yeah, unbelievable.
And you lose your center, who would have ate that guy's lunch that plays for Loyola.
Unbelievable.
And you could have easily got through that bracket.
Unbelievable.
And gotten to the Final Four.
That guy that beat us at center looked like meat from Porky's, and they just kept feeding him.
If Kyle gets hurt, no one would even know who Sister Jean is today.
He looked
doesn't get hurt.
He looked like an absolute Bino. That guy looked like an absolute goon that would have played on an NBA roster in the 80s when everybody had a white center, just to balance out the roster for some reason. Do you remember those days, Bino, the white goon? Who were some of the Celtics white goons when you were watching it back then, Bino? Can you recall that? Was Scott Wegman one of them, Bino?
Yeah,
Brad Lowhouse.
Scott Wegman was one.
Brad Lowhouse, he really contributed. Bill Walton at the end of his career. He wasn't a white goon. Bill Walton was incredible, but shame his body didn't cooperate.
Hank Finkel.
The NBA back in the day, this is true now. The NBA, if you look it up, and the biggest violator of it was the Milwaukee Bucks, who had guys like Paul McCaskey. God, what was the other guy's name? There were
Bill Laimbeer was one.
Well, Laimbeer could play.
But
now he could play. He could play.
But he was a goon, too.
He was an all-star level player, though. Anyway, we'll come back on the other side. 865-200-5402. We shouldn't have lost to Purdue with that team we had. That team should have gone to the Final Four. When you have a three-time All-American, when you have a Grant Williams on your roster in college basketball, you should figure out a way to coach them to the Final Four. And especially a pretty good backcourt that we had. A team was lacking nothing. A team was number one for a month in the sport. Agree or disagree, Bino? I think that was our best chance.
Agree.
And that's painful. I remember sitting there with Greg Bell doing the post-game show out there at corner 16 of the wee small hours of the morning, and we were the last two people left, and the manager on duty, the GM. And we just we knew that was an awful, 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 awful loss. James Daniel says 2019 Tennessee team not as good as it's not what we're arguing, not as good as our last two teams. Not arguing that. I'm arguing opportunity against the field. What's in front of you? I'm not arguing. And by the way, I could argue with you on that if we wanted to argue, but I'm not arguing that. I'm arguing best chance. See, that's what's unique about the tournament. The tournament is year to year, what's your bet? Like, this is a good draw. I wish I had confidence in these guys to think they had a run in them. I don't know that I do. I don't know that I don't, but I don't know that I do. I haven't filled out my bracket yet. We did one last night, Bino, and we had the Vols getting beat Sunday in our bracket. Do you blame us?
I do not.
By the way, Billy Jarvis listening to us. Your goon in the 80s, Bino, that you brought with you was Greg Kite.
Yes.
And that's the thing about goons.
Thank you, Billy J.
When you remember them, they make you laugh. And why did you laugh when he said Greg Kite, Bino?
Because these guys are big stiffs that you run in there to bang people around.
They're ugly human beings, too.
And then you get them out.
Yes. They're ugly human beings. Unless you're Josh Elander, and then Greg Kite play 40 minutes for you.
Hey, I'm Alan, and we ship floors on Bristol Highway in Johnson City. Are you tired of walking around on that ratty-looking carpet that you have? Well, today's your lucky day because we have Supercore on sale for $1.79. 58 colors we're liquidating. Supercore is the best waterproof floor with a lifetime warranty. Where are you going to find that anywhere else? Nowhere, let me tell you. $1.79, lifetime warranty. Come on down to Bristol Highway on your truck and trailer and let's make a deal.
You got to dream about buying some land and building on that land? Well, Waterside Contracting is your ticket. 25 years of making dreams come true, Michael Scott. For hundreds in our area, custom homes or remodels, Waterside Contracting will build on your lot. They do incredible work all over the area. Structural integrity, quality without compromise. It's a way of life with Waterside Contract. Check out the wonderful work Waterside does. WatersideContractingLLC.com. When it's time for your dreams to come true. Quality without compromising. Waterside Contracting.
College football fans, Chris Fowler here with the play call. This season, go for Dose with ice-cold refreshing Dos Equis. It's more than a single play. It's a mindset. Think of it as a two-point conversion for real life. Taking the risk, making the bold move. Whenever we get the chance to go big, we take it. On the field and off, always go for Dose with Dos Equis.
Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Copyright 2024 Dos Equis Lager Especial Beer. Imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Tony Basilio along with the great Mark Griffin. And we're here to talk about our friends at Performance Medicine. And Griff, their slogan, stay educated, stay healthy. That's you.
Wow. I really like to think that, Tony, and I'd like to give Dr. Rogers a lot of credit because I definitely want to stay educated and healthy, and knowing that he's putting the time and effort in to make sure of my care, I want to encourage your listeners to put the time to learn and become educated and get to know Dr. Rogers and see if it can help with your health as well.
And there's a really, really easy way to do that. In fact, they've got their own YouTube channel. You can see Dr. Rogers for himself with his staff. It's called The Performance Medicine Show over at the Performance Medicine channel over on YouTube. Also, more information at performancemedicine.net. To our friends in North Knoxville, a brand new location over in Fountain City, now accepting patients. So many ways to reach Dr. Rogers. And like they say, stay educated, stay healthy. Performance Medicine, online, performancemedicine.net.
Located in Knoxville's historic Old City, Barley's offers great food, live music, the best draft beer selection in town, and now your new favorite place to watch sports. Their indoor projector is perfect for any weather, and they've revamped their upstairs area with more TVs to take in all of the action. Their menu features hand-battered chicken tenders, juicy burgers, fresh salads, and the tastiest pizza in Knoxville. You can enjoy their happy hour drink specials daily from open until 6 p.m. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
Tony Basilio here, and I got the great Chad Stockton of FC Alliance 2026. Chad, do you believe we've made it?
Boys and girls teams start off the new year at big national event showcases. We got our younger kids training indoors and doing a lot of things to get better. So we're excited about what the future holds.
Chad, I hear the juice behind you. I hear the kids. Your program reaches throughout East Tennessee. If folks want to get involved, what's the advice?
We're easy to get in touch with. We offer players at all ages, all levels, all experience. We have a program for all of our kids that we have, and we're excited for anyone to join us.
And even some Lady Vols as well. Several college players all over the country, yes?
Absolutely. We had a lot of girls that we were able to watch play in the NCAA tournament. A lot of our former players made big runs through the tournament. We're so excited for them.
Growing the beautiful game. In this, the year of the World Cup in North America, celebrate the beautiful game. Get your child involved. FCAllianceKnox.org. That's FCAllianceKnox.org. And Chad, thank you, man. Keep growing the beautiful game.
Absolutely, Tony, and thank you very much.
Preparing food for a big gathering can really take it out of you. That's why you need to call Calhoun's and check out their selection of party platters. Whether you're hosting a party for the big game, a reunion, or just an everyday gathering, a Calhoun's party platter is next level. Choose from Calhoun's always excellent chicken tenders, fly with Calhoun's wings, or boneless wings with a variety of dipping sauces, award-winning next-level melt-in-your-mouth barbecue ribs, or delicious spinach artichoke dip, or get one of each. Plus, if you're doing burgers or sandwiches, Calhoun's has lots of side dishes like spinach Maria, baked cinnamon apples, Smoky Mountain baked beans, or creamy coleslaw. Available in pints, quarts, and gallons. And to finish things off, pick up one of Calhoun's great desserts to go, including homemade cheesecake or key lime pie. Calhoun's, simply your go-to party headquarters. With 9 locations all over East Tennessee, you can order online and just pick it up. Calhoun's, one of the Copper Cellar family of restaurants, along with Chesapeake's, Copper Cellar, Corner 16, Cherokee Grill, and Smoky Mountain Brewery. Eat local, eat good.
From the sunrise over the Smokies to the Saturday cheers at Neyland Stadium, Knoxville isn't just where we live, it's home. But let's be honest. Finding your perfect spot in a hot market can feel like a full-time job. Whether you're looking for a Craftsman in 4th and Gill, a family home in Farragut, or a view in South Knox, the market moves fast. You need more than a listing. You need an edge. And that's where I come in, Jennifer Morris with Keller Williams Realty. And I specialize in helping Knoxville buyers win. I don't just find houses, I find the right fit for your budget and your lifestyle. Ready to unlock your front door? Visit nextmovesmokymountains.com or call me at 865-694-5904. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and as always, go Vols.
Like our 2026 football Vols, score a T3TD every time with T3 Vodka, Tennessee's premium vodka. Handcrafted with passion, precision, and a whole lot of pride. Right here, handcrafted in the majesty of the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains. Quality around here isn't just a promise, it's a way of life. And T3's filtered 10 times. 80 proof of vodka delivering a smoothness unmatched. This dedication to excellence has earned T3 Vodka prestigious accolades, like a 5-time gold medal award-winning vodka and your SIPS Consumer Choice Award medal winner as well. Whether you're sipping it neat, on the rocks, mixing your favorite cocktail, T3 Vodka, your choice for a premium award-winning experience. Be like Maury Hanks. Score a T3TD. Ask for T3 Vodka by name at restaurants and wine and liquor stores today. Drink it neat, drink it right, and score a T3TD all 2026 long. Tennessee's Premium Vodka. T3, Tennessee's Premium Vodka. Distributed by Empire Distributors of Tennessee.
It's always magnificent. Mondays on the Basilio Show, presented by our friends at Fleet Tire. I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. And now, back to B.
Loud and proud, back with you, 865-200-5402. We've got some numbers out, and we're going to give them to you. Kind of a couple of interesting things. Speaking of numbers, right here on Fan Run Radio, the great William Pattison, who is the man that takes you inside the numbers every day, is coming up next. We're going to stay here and continue to break it down scientifically and move right to left across your device. So if you want to get in as part of our overtime segment, do that. We currently have no callers. And so we'd love to talk to you. If not, hey, it's all good. But we're going to get through Tennessee, though they are the 6th seed in their bracket. They have the 4th best odds to get to the Final Four. Numbers just out, and we'll go through some of those numbers. And we're going to have some fun with it and continue to celebrate the fact that March Madness is here. It's going to be a really wonderful tournament, and I hope we're here. I hope we get to the finish line like people are telling me it's going to happen. In the meantime, the great, and you will bow thy head when you say thy name, the great William Pattison's on the way next. We love you, appreciate you, peace. Enjoy the rest of your Monday, and please be safe.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
So I'm fired up, folks, and prepared. Here we are. Bino, Jeff Henderson, are you ready for some to talk about some odds that are kind of interesting, okay? Here we go. We've got some odds to make the Final Four. We've got some odds out on the Vols. I want you and Brian to tell me if you would place these bets. By the way, my friends at VIP Play want to remind you, you bet 20, you get $100 in bonus bets instantly. Again, bet 20, $100 in bonus bets instantly. The promo code and the phrase that pays is TN Tony. Again, TN Tony. As we're talking ball with you, I want to remind you that a great place for you to play with the NCAA tournament upon us is right over at VIP Play, and you'll support the show in the process, and we appreciate that. Again, the phrase that pays is TN Tony over at VIP Play, and they're live always as well with 200-plus leagues, numerous bet types, and they've got it all for you there over at VIP Play, where everybody gets treated like a VIP, and I'm going to have you a 3-pack pick for each day of the first round. Should I consult with you, Bino, or should I use a couple other of my gambling experts? What would you do, Bino, if you were me?
If I were you and knew any gambling experts, I would rely on them.
Gambling problem, 1-800-889-9789, 21 and over, located in the state of Tennessee to place a bet. All right, the odds are out. Brian, let's go through this. You tell me if you're buying, selling, or trading. Vols are minus 300, Brian, to make the second round. That means to win $100, you'd have to risk 300. Brian, would you be interested in risking 300 to make 100 on making the second round? Are you that confident, Brian?
I think they do make the second round, but I don't believe I'd risk that much on this bunch.
Bino, what does minus 300 mean to you? Does that seem a little excessive and high in terms of what Vegas thinks of the Vols?
It does, Tony, and you're right. You'd have to bet 100 to win 300.
You mean?
You'd have to bet 300 to win 100.
Yeah, don't do that to me.
I would not risk that.
I'm already a twisted and sick individual when it comes to numbers, and I can barely tie my shoes, okay, when numbers get involved.
Well, you're not talking numbers. It's a challenge.
All right, moving along. By the way, a sweet kid yesterday, I was walking in the park playing my mandolin, and a sweet kid walked up to me and gave me a flower. He enjoyed what I was playing, Bino, and he picked a flower for me. It's very sweet. I got to pet 2 dogs that stopped for me. They were intrigued by what I was doing. And I got to pet 2 different dogs. And I don't know. It's kind of fun.
I'm a throwback to 1967 or so.
I said, "Are you going?" Because I took the flower and put it in one of my little holes in my mandolin. Are you going to San Francisco? Be sure to wear. Was that in your iPod, Bino, back in the day? Did you have the 8-track tape? Little Scott McKenzie?
I did not, Tony. I didn't have any white folks.
Didn't what?
Didn't have any white folks in my collection.
You had probably some rare earth.
I did not.
You might have had vehicle. I'm your vehicle, baby. I'll take you anywhere you want to go. The guy that sung that song actually was in the group Survivor. Great God in heaven, I think I love you. Ba-da-bum-ba-bum, ba-da-bum-ba-bum, ba-da-bum-ba-bum.
Okay, what's the next odds there, Tone?
The Vols are plus 110 to make the round of the Sweet 16. Plus 110, you know?
I just saw where
even money, guys.
Jay Billis thinks Tennessee is beating Virginia to get to the Sweet 16, so I think I might take a flyer plus 110. That might be a good thing to
because that bald-headed stooge. Because I like Jay Billis. I'm just kidding. He pissed me off. He was on that team that beat Temple in '88.
I didn't mean to bring him back up, but
no, I like Jay Billis.
I like him with this pick. I like what he said here.
Bino, all lines are jammed. The Vols plus 110. Bino to get to the Sweet 16. Will Bino in Vegas be so inclined to lay it down, as the great Stephen Percy once said, out in front of Rat Bino?
Tony, you know I always bet on the Vols. It doesn't make any difference.
Vols are plus 300, Bino, to make the Elite Eight, which means you bet 100 to win 300. Bino, is that enough juice for you, or should it be higher, in your humble opinion?
To make the Elite Eight?
Yeah.
I think they should probably be plus 400 or so, but
pretty interesting.
I might play 10 to win 30.
Vols are 13-1, Brian, to make the Final Four. I thought it'd been higher than that. 13-1. And by the way, Big Orange or Big Dog in West Tennessee, I like the idea of getting Dan Housen involved and putting a curse on all our future opponents in this thing. He's this crazy ass skinny wrestler, Bino. Makes me laugh. Bino, here's the interesting thing with our odds, okay? Tennessee has the fourth best odds to make the Final Four in the region they're in, despite being a 6 seed. They were a 25-1 pick to get to the Final Four before the draw was published. Now it's 13-1. Don't tell me, which I was trying to explain to James Daniel before, better team or not a better team, draw matters. This thing's all about the teams in front of you. And that's why when Tennessee let Ryan Klein put them out of the tournament, it started an overtime period with Grant Williams on the bench. I mean, I just can't get past that. And I love Rick Barnes. To me, that's the worst loss in school. That is the worst loss in school history, that game that night. I would love to have played that Morban Virginia team, who I know's had excellent defense, and I would have loved to have seen Admiral Schofield and Grant Williams get a crack at that Virginia team and get a chance to crack them. But that's me. Bino, the Vols went from 25-1 to 13-1 when Vegas saw the draw. Do you find that interesting? And then we'll go to the phones.
Yeah, I do find that interesting, Tony, and obviously what you're saying is correct. They look at the draw and think that Tennessee has an easier draw than a 6 seed should have.
And Brian said it earlier. Alabama, with their enterprising young off guard, is 24-1 to make the Final Four. 24-1 to make the Final Four as a 4 seed. Again, we're back to this. Tennessee is a 13-1 to make the Final Four as a 6 seed. Where is the balance in that? Yeah, it's out there. Yeah. Thoughts on that, boys? Do we have a thought?
Yeah, you certainly wouldn't look at that and think that should be the case, Tony.
No.
For those two teams.
Brian, what would the Vegas odds be that kid from Bama is going to score some weed by 5 o'clock tonight? Go! All right, to make the Final Four, you guys want some numbers or no? Out of our region? What teams, Bino, do you think are higher than Tennessee in our region? Go ahead and guess, Beanstar.
Well, you said there were 3. I'm going to go with Michigan. I'm going to go with Iowa State, and I'm going to go with Alabama.
Brian?
You said that Alabama was 24-1 and Tennessee's 13-1, right?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I didn't. I thought
so.
That was Arkansas we were talking
It's
about.
not Alabama. Tennessee won. No, Michigan won. Sorry. Iowa State. And is it Virginia?
That's exactly right. Virginia's 12-1 and the Vols are 13-1. Which means, Bino, that they have us right there with them. Probably be a 1 point line is our guess. They lay right on top of you in that round to 32. It's a coin flip.
Okay.
6-3 games shouldn't be coin flips, guys. I would bet you that game has the lowest line of any of the 6-3 matchups. Do you guys anybody want to say that's yes or no? What do you think?
You mean the shortest number? They'll be Virginia,
Sean Webb just said take a call. Okay, Sean, you're going to get a 5-minute timeout. You're getting a 5-minute timeout. No, I think I'm going to give you 10 actually for that. I'll take calls when I take calls there, big boy. Okay.
Boys, listen to me out there. You do not want to be messing with Kennesaw Mountain Basilio right now. Just pipe down. Stay in the chat.
I'm going to get to the calls. We're trying to set the scene here for people that are this is interesting stuff here. This is stuff you can share with your friends. How many other 6 seeds in that tournament are going to be 13-1 pick and jump over a couple teams in their deal? That doesn't seem, but it's all draw dependent. So maybe there is another 6 seed out there. I don't know, Bino. You're looking at you've got the draw in front of you. You think any of the other sixes are as highly regarded as we are in terms of being alive to get to a Final Four? I'm surprised by that.
I think Louisville without Brown is going to go out in the first round to South Florida. North Carolina doesn't have Caleb Wilson, and BYU's not played well. So the 6 seeds, I'd say the Vols probably have the best chance.
Totally agree.
If you think about it.
100% agree with that. So that Virginia game, they lay right on top of each other in a 3-6 game. You can't ask for better than that. And the thing that puts it over the top is they're playing in the town that gave you me.
Isn't that something?
I mean, you can't script it any better than that.
No, it's fairy tale stuff here.
And the last time the Vols...
And they would go to Paulie Joe's hometown and maybe get a chance to go to the Final Four. Wouldn't that be ironic?
There you go. Paulie Joe. The way this works, the other 3 seeds, Brian, you were exactly right. It's not even close. Of course, Sean wants me to, go to the phones. But we're still kind of unpacking this, if it's okay with you. And then we'll go to the phones. Everybody's going to be heard. Louisville, Brian, you were right, is 16-1. Bino, you want to guess what that North Carolina team is that has zero business being on the 3 line? I mean, on the 6 line. If
Where you got
North Carolina,
where you got Matt, Tony?
What the number is? What do you think the number is? Louisville's 16-1. What do you think Carolina is, Bino?
20.
60-1.
60.
60. And BYU 60-1 to get to the Final Four.
What is Arkansas and Vanderbilt?
I don't have it in front of me, but thanks for asking. By the way, I like Vanderbilt's chances to get to the Sweet 16, where they will play Florida. Do you guys think that's funny? Or no? Or you think that could happen?
No, I've got that. I picked that.
I think we're going to see a Vandy Florida rematch.
I'll tell you what. I'm starting to think this guy at Vanderbilt can coach a little bit.
I think he's a very good coach, Tony.
Let's go back to our phones. If you want to get in the mix with us, all lines are currently jammed. When one becomes available, we'll hear from you. Let's go back to our phones. Kentucky Todd said, just wait till we spend our $4.8 million. Kentucky Todd, if you're going to watch your team in the tournament, I'd bring a gym bag, brah. You're not even going to need a change. You're just going to need an undershirt to put on for your drive back home the next morning. You won't need a change of clothes, brah. Pack light. Hello and welcome in. You're in our extra time overtime. Our time, your time, my time, our time overtime. Hi.
Hey, what's up, guys? Frosty Boy.
There he is, the Wingster.
Guys, I kind of have a surprise and unique Final Four. You want to hear it?
Hit it.
Hit it.
All right, we got UConn taking down Rick Pitino to get to the Final Four. We got Houston taking down Florida to get to the Final Four. We got Arkansas taking down Gonzaga to get to the Final Four. In the final one, we got Michigan taking down Iowa State to get to the Final Four. UConn versus Michigan in Final Four. And I got Dan Hurley and UConn cutting down the Nets.
What do you think, Bino?
I'd say if that comes close to being the Final Four, Joshy's going to squash some people in a bracket contest.
Yep.
Yeah.
Josh, if you hit that,
going to have that.
I got Arkansas taking down Arizona in the Sweet 16.
Could happen. Could happen. If that's your conviction, Joshy boy, play that conviction because you will be there at the end to drink from the chalice, my friend.
And if you want to play Arkansas to get to the Final Four to win the region, they are 11-1.
Yeah, I'm looking at 12-1 right now, but I'll buy 11-1. Vanderbilt, by the way, Bri, you were asking, is 14-1. Florida to get there is plus 165, guys.
Okay. Tony, I told Dino, I think this time last week, he will see the Vols get to the Sweet 16. They will still be in it when he leaves Vegas, and I predicted them to beat Virginia to get to the Sweet 16, but I have them losing to Iowa State in the Sweet 16 game.
Be a very interesting basketball game if we can get across from Iowa State. Be an extremely
I'll take
interesting
that Sweet
basketball
16
game.
right now, Josh.
Oh, I would take it right now and run with it, brother.
Yeah.
That'd be a great. Hey, guys, for this basketball team and how beat up they are, and just kind of how incomplete they are, and what an
that'd be a great season.
Hell yes, 24 wins and a Sweet 16. Shit, I'd take that
That'd
tomorrow.
be 4 straight Sweet 16s.
And first time in school history, Bri. First time in school history.
Did you say 4th straight Sweet 16, Brian? If they can do it this year,
that's right, Josh. Yep, first time in school history.
That's good. Do you think Amari Evans, do you think he should see a lot of minutes in the tournament? Because I think he could produce more than Boswell. I know he's probably going to be your main guy coming off the bench whenever he comes in, but I would play him over Boswell.
I want him to finish, you know? I want him to finish.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Did someone say Darius Acuff is in a boot?
Yeah, they have him booted after every game. That's what they've been doing that with him. He's been injured.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Are you guys worried any with the baseballs only taking 1 out of 3 with how they ended up losing yesterday?
I'm really encouraged. No, I saw so many great signs from them. They're going to be a nasty baseball team by the end of the year. I'm concerned with our manager and the way that he doesn't have a quick enough hook, man. He's got to develop thicker skin. It's not a popularity contest. You got to go out there and get guys when they're in trouble.
I said earlier in the show, Joshy, that I really liked the number of quality swings we took this weekend as opposed to the weekends before that. I like our starting pitching. I like our bullpen. And regardless of what happened yesterday, I came out of the Georgia series feeling better about our baseball team than I did when we went there.
Totally agree with that, Bino. I saw so much fight and moxie from them. That lineup hit. They hit yesterday when they were behind late. I mean, that ball should have been out of there. Really. And just to be in that position. Hey, this Grimmer guy, let him play. Let him cook. And by the way, you know what? If they win the series, One of the things we're talking about here today is that Clark picked up 2 hits late after sitting there all weekend and watching. That's a great sign. When you insert him in a game and he gets 2 turns and he gets 2 base hits and he was all of a sudden seeing the ball better, that is a great sign for things to come.
Yeah. Hey, Tony, on the way out, is Basilio Jr. listening? Anthony?
Every show he takes notes. He listens and takes notes.
Anthony, I got something to say. Your Penn University Friday, did they play Thursday or Friday against
the
Illinois?
Quakers? The Quakers.
Quakers, yeah. When they play Illinois, they're going to pull off an upset and beat Illinois. That's my bold prediction for the first
Anthony,
round.
9:25 Eastern Time, a watch party over here. We'll get Joshy Boy here. Come over and watch the game at 9:25 Eastern Time, Anthony. We'll cook up the 5 fishes like we do around Christmas time. We'll go to the phones. 865-200-5402. The Quakers winning yesterday is a great story. It's a lot of fun. It's kind of what the March Madness thing's about. Those are the conference tournaments that matter. And it's a borderline miracle they won that game. They do have one high-level player, though, former 5-star kid. The numbers are really interesting, Bino, are they not? To make the Final Four out of Tennessee's region, somebody asked about this. Michigan is minus 130. And by the way, if I was playing that bracket, Bino, I probably would bet Michigan, yes? If I was wanting to cash a winning ticket. I don't know if minus 130's value.
One of their key players in the backcourt might be out.
Iowa State.
I thought all year long that when I picked my bracket that Michigan would be my national champion. The second half of their season has somewhat tempered that for me, but I don't think minus 130 is bad at all to take them going out.
Iowa State plus 300. Virginia.
I think that's probably the most value play in that region.
Virginia is 12-1. Tennessee's 13-1. In case you're interested, Texas Tech without Toppin is 18-1. Brian mentioned earlier Alabama is 24-1. And there's a couple of Kentucky fans that have entered the YouTube chat. Kentucky is 45-1. Georgia is 65-1. Santa Clara 75-1. St. Louis with shirts no skins 175-1. Tennessee's opponent maybe on Friday night. SMU is 200-1. The Flying Dutchmen of Hofstra are 400-1. Akron's 500-1. If Loving You is Wrong, I Don't Want to Be Right State is 700-1. Ramir's Alma Tomater, Miami of Ohio, is 750-1. Tennessee State is 100-1. The Golden Retrievers of UMBC is 1,000-1. And Howard, where Josh Smith played on their golf team when Anthony played against him, Howard is 1,000-1. Let's go back to our phones.
UMBC, will I bring their ticket home again?
You got to play them over
and
Iowa
Luther
State.
Ingram, bow your head.
And Luther Ingram, wow. That's just a great vocal performance, man. Because if loving you is wrong, I don't want to be right. Hello and welcome in. You're on the on our Monday celebration.
Tony, Bino, Brian, it's Jeff in Jonesboro. How are y'all
Jeff
today?
in Jonesboro. Que pasa, amigo?
It's been a while since I called, a little bit, but I thought I'd give you a call and
thank you, my brother.
Chime in. I had real mixed feelings going into here, this tournament. I keep thinking about Bino. You probably remember. You remember when an Ernie and Bernie team lost to VMI in the first round?
Absolutely. Bernard didn't play. Had a broken thumb. Shouldn't have mattered.
Oh, that's right.
Yes,
that's right. He didn't play, but yeah, that was like that's bothered me almost as much as that game next year, the Syracuse game, and I'm just always very nervous and like, gosh, we just don't have it, and I really feel that way this year. It just seems to me like we just are incapable of pulling away from someone to where we can dictate and press our advantages. We just seem incapable of doing that.
We mentioned Tennessee State earlier. We saw that early in the year with Tennessee. Look, under Rick Barnes, they've been a system gaming team, and they've been able to get the number in those bye games. And this year's team was not able to get the number in some bye games. And it turns out that wasn't a fluke, because they just play with their food constantly, which is a bad sign in the tournament, because in the tournament, when you get a chance to put it on somebody or stretch a lead, you've got to do those little things in order to do that. And, Jeff, this team just doesn't have that. This team here is equal parts talented as boneheaded. They just do goofy things, man.
We've seen it. They'll get out to a 6 to 8 point. We saw it over the weekend, or, they get out to a 6 to 8 point lead, and they just can't. And they just turn over, bad shot, or cold spell.
Yep. That 7 point lead against Vandy, Jeff, felt like it lasted 45 seconds. I don't know how long it lasted, but it felt like that thing, it was like, boom, here you are, you just got some breathing room, and it's like boom, 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 and all of a sudden it's a 1 point game.
And they can't build on it. They just can't build on it.
And by the way, this team doesn't defend as well as past Barnes teams. The numbers kind of lied this year and talked about their and Maury, I love having Maury on because he watches it like a scout, and he's like, why don't they play zone defense? Bishop Boswell can't stay in front of anybody. And he can't. He's not athletic. Some people wanted to, make this guy more than he is, and, we need him shooting more. No, we don't need him shooting more. We actually don't need him on the floor. That's what we don't need him.
Yeah. Guard after guard after guard has torched us going down the lane.
And that's what Virginia does. That's
and we get well. If they do that, you watch us. We're going to get caught twixt in between on those drives. Oh, if I guard close off, they'll call a foul, but I back off and he just blows right by for an easy layup.
Yep.
Or they get unencumbered and they start, it's playground stuff, and the announcers are going, wow, that's an incredible shot. He's just loose. Nothing's being contested, and he's just, Anyway, I do want to give a shout out to Nega Dave. He told us what was wrong back in maybe as late October after the Duke exhibition.
Oh my God, he's an absolute. He is. You got to be kidding, right?
No, he said.
Oh my gosh!
The first thing he said of the season, the first comment I heard him say on the season of basketball was, "Tony, we're a guard short."
Oh boy!
Do you remember that? I'm sorry.
No, I remember.
I do, Jeff. He was right this time.
Well, Bino, you remember that?
Yeah, he was right this
time.
time.
When he said that? And
oh boy.
I know. I bet it's like I can't get that out of my mind. And back in April and May of last year, I was thinking, it's bad you lost that McNeely guy. You better get Rodney. You got to get someone else. And then when Freeman went, are we going to get Freeman?
Going to try? Yeah, they're involved with him. You talking about the kid from Auburn?
You think? Yeah.
Yeah, they're involved.
From LMU. You think he's gettable?
Oh, sure. They're involved with him. Yeah.
And that's not what he signed up for. Stephen L. Pearl. That's,
Correct. And he really enjoyed his time here. He's originally from Florida, but he enjoyed his time here. That's why the shirts guy up there at St. Louis, he kind of has his eye on the Tennessee job as well one day.
Okay.
So it's kind of interesting.
Well,
it's fun to watch this stuff. But listen, Jeff, I appreciate you, and it's good talking to you.
On the way out, real quick, one thing that just drives me crazy is when fans and players on the court start twirling their finger like review. Drives me crazy.
Well,
that's another topic.
You know what? Jimmy Dykes has said probably 7 million words into a microphone. I need to get, Brian, we need to get our gal in West Tennessee, Holly, to count the words of Jimmy Dykes. It might be like 3 billion this year, because that son of a gun never shuts up. By the way, he's been silenced now, so it's good news, unless you watch the NIT. No more Jimmy Dykes, Bino, for you.
Bang.
He did say something the other night that's right. He was kind of on a heater the other night. He said a couple things. He called Felix Akpara Blockpara. Kudos to you, Jimmy. That's pretty good. That's good work if you can get it. Second thing he said is they've got to do away with this slow walking guys up to the, like you're getting ready to make a substitution, and then you pull them back because it gives him enough time, everybody enough time to look and see whether or not an infraction, and you want to review said infraction or ball possession or whatever. They've got to do away with the tablets on the sidelines. You either call it or you don't. You don't need tablets on the sidelines. Jimmy Dykes said it. He's right. He's right. He's absolutely right. Back to the phones we go. Negative is a real clown. Real clown. Bino's over here giving the guy credit. Hello and welcome in. You're live on our Monday edition. Rice fans, welcome in. Hi.
What's up, Tony? Grant, Birmingham.
Hey, Grant. How you doing, buddy?
Good. I'm surprised I hadn't heard y'all mention today that poor Jimmy and Carl, they got boxed out yesterday. Did y'all notice that? They were calling the whole tournament. They shipped in Shulman and Billis to call the championship game.
Yeah, they've been doing that last several years. Yep. They've been doing that.
It's tough. I mean, Jimmy watches, he calls, I don't even know, hundreds of SEC games, and like I said, they ship in that A team.
Carl Ravitch, by the way, has the best rug in the business. From one bald guy to another, may we all aspire to have Carl Ravi's rug. Ravi's rug needs its own Twitter handle.
It's funny you said that, Tony. I was actually in the building Friday and Saturday in Nashville. Had a fun time. Went to all 6 games.
Nice, man.
And I saw Carl pretty up close and personal a couple times. I was sitting, kind of squeezed my way down close to the floor.
Yeah.
That is one of the wilder hairpiece I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I will say it does look good.
You don't get it on television, but in person you see it. Yes, in person.
Correct. Yeah. That's 100% correct.
Ravi's rug.
Impressive. Tony, you want I got 2 takes. I got a basketball only take, and then I kind of got an athletic department wide take. Which one do you want first?
I want that basketball take first, and then we'll get to the athletic department.
Okay. My basketball take is, I don't feel great about us overall right now, how we're playing, obviously the last couple of weeks.
Yep.
But what I will say, what I've been hanging on to, I don't think I've made this point on here yet, the last couple of weeks is, I don't love the Virginia matchup. But all it takes is one game. We don't gotta beat them in a 7-game series. We don't even gotta beat them twice. We gotta beat them once. And like you said, I don't think there's that much difference between us and them. And I just kind of always go back to that game. I guess it was 3 years ago now against Duke, when they were like, I don't know if people remember, they were like, I know we were technically the higher seed, but they were like 4-point favorites against us.
Yeah, and we bullied them. We bullied them. Yes, you're right.
We bullied them.
Yes.
And I don't think, like you've been saying, I don't think we'll be a 4-point dog. We'll probably be, I could see it probably ended up at 2 or 2.5 because people will put the money on the Cavs. But I could see us doing something similar. Now, we're not as good on defense, but we still play physical. And obviously, we're going, it comes down to Jacoby and Nate. We've said it since October. That's the deal. If they both shoot good, we can beat anybody besides probably the top 4 or 5 teams in the country.
Hey, Grant, here's a funny thought, because I was going through this with C last night. If they played Carey, and I don't know how playable Carey is against Virginia when you think about the kid that was with Cal at Kentucky, who is he's like a block machine for that Virginia team. He's just a human block. If they play Carey, okay, say he plays like 20 minutes in that game, how many shots will he get blocked? Will that kid throw back in his face?
Half the shots he takes. I mean, that's
exactly. I mean, for those that haven't seen it, it is freaky how good this kid is around the rim. And poor Carey, against length like that, man, he just gets smothered against those teams. It's crazy.
He'll have no chance. He'll have no chance. But I mean, that's just.
It's nuts. I don't think you can play him, right? You just can't play. You just you got to.
I hope not. But I mean, right? We don't see that's. I mean, I love Rick, but I know that Barnes is hard on Carey. I know that for a fact from people that have been there. But he seems to be a safety blanket. I mean, that's all I could say. I mean, we couldn't even get I'm blanking, the kid from Hoover. He played like 3 minutes. Dwayne Brown.
So
played like
weird.
3 minutes on Friday.
The rotations this year and some of the who plays and who doesn't decisions are just. But here's the thing. I'm of the mindset that winning a game is a nice season. Getting to the Sweet Six, I'm talking about the tournament now. Winning 2 games is a great job by this staff. If they win 2 games, that is an incredible. If they win 3 games, have a parade downtown if you get this team to an Elite Eight. I'm not being dismissive of our team. I'm just talking about the way we look, the health, the overall health of the team, how tired we appear. We just look like a basketball team that was 1 or 2 players short that's hitting the finish line pretty gassed. And not healthy at the same time. But they've got pretty good matchups here that they could take advantage of. But it would not super shock me if SMU's your opponent Friday and SMU upends you. It wouldn't floor me. You know what I mean, Grant? It wouldn't floor me.
No, this team.
We're not playing well.
Yeah, well, and I think the SMU, the problem with them, and I think y'all hit on it a little bit last night. I really enjoyed the show.
Yeah.
If they got, well, I'll say it'll be big whether Edwards plays or not.
No doubt.
They have 2 guards that can score, and
right.
I mean, we've seen it all year. We don't defend. We don't defend guards.
That's right.
So if he plays, and I guess the good news is we'll see him Wednesday night whether he plays or not.
Yes.
But I still tend to think that we'll have enough to get by them. And I'm with you.
I hope for his sake he can play. Look, I'm a Tennessee fan, but I'm also a person that lives in East Tennessee, and I think it'd be a great story for that kid to get a chance to play in the tournament and play well against the Vols. I don't want him to win, but I think it'd be a neat story. I'm just going to say it out loud. I think it'd be a neat story to see B.J. Edwards play and play well against the Vols. I don't want them to beat my alma mater, obviously, but I hate seeing kids get hurt at the end of the year. That's why this thing with Nate Ament, man, it almost feels like, Grant, he's not going to get a chance to show who he really is in this tournament. And that kind of bothers me.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Tony, he played great on Thursday. I think playing back-to-back days was tough, but we're going to have a full week off.
He played a great 9 minutes.
He
played 9 minutes. He played really well in 9 minutes Friday. You're right.
Yeah, so, I mean, again, like we have it. I think it's nice that we're playing Friday. Mm-hmm. It's a full week off now. I mean, I'm not picking us to beat Virginia, to be clear, but I don't think it's impossible at all. And we'll see. Like I said, you said it. I agree 100%. If we win 1 game, people will be mad or whatever. But if this team wins 23 games and gets to the round of 32, it's going to be a little, frustrating, sure. But I mean, if that is your down year after back-to-back Elite Eights, then I'll take it and let's roll the ball to next year and see what happens. But hey, this tournament, you only got to beat all these teams one time. This team could lose Friday afternoon.
Sure, they could.
Or I'm not. Elite Eight still feels like a stretch to me. But I still think going
hey, if this team gets the Elite Eight, Grant, I'm telling you right now, it is. Because we have a lot of magical thinkers in our audience that are like, it's going to happen. It would be an incredible
Have they watched
job.
Iowa State play? Have these people watched Iowa State that think that, no offense, but Iowa State was competing at the top of the Big 12 the entire season. That's a different level than what we played last season.
I would agree with that. And by the way, give me your Danny White everything school take here, because basically we got beat by Vandy and everything.
Yeah, well, it's funny. This hit me Friday afternoon, sitting in Bridgestone watching. At the moment it hit me was I watched Jalen Carey go 0 for 5 at the free throw line in the first half. And, it just feels like there's kind of a malaise. Everybody's grumpy. Everybody's mad about just kind of everything right now outside of, I guess, softball, which is that still early in the season? And heaven forbid if they don't win the national championship, people will be mad at her. But I think it's just, if you go back to basically the last 12 months now since we got beat by Houston, we've just gone through. And I'll be honest with you, Tony, I hate when you use this term, and I'm with Matt. You use it way too much. But we've basically gone through 3 straight goofy seasons in all these sports right now of just last year's baseball team, which they ended up making a super regional, so that's a pretty good year. But, they couldn't field the baseball.
Goofy
the pitching
year.
was bad.
You're exactly
Tony
right.
Vitello starting that Auburn game in the monsoon.
You're exactly
lost
right.
every Sunday game for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And again, now they pulled it out in their credit. They went on a nice run in Hoover. They got to host a regional, and the way it ended was, that was fine. We made a super regional, lost to a better team, but the whole journey was just very goofy and annoying. But hey, you just won a national championship, whatever, one sport. You go to football, and, again, we win 8-4. We've had way worse seasons around here, way worse in the last 15 years. But it's just the way you did it. You choked the Georgia game with the field goal, the never-ending penalties, just the dumb stuff that we thought we did all season. You lost the Oklahoma game. You didn't win a home game against anybody with a pulse. I don't know. Again, it wasn't, maybe goofy is not the right way to put football, but it was just kind of annoying, and it felt like you underachieved.
They were annoying. Yeah, that
and you
defense,
lost every close game except for Mississippi State, which whatever, you should have won that game by 21.
Yeah.
And then you rolled into basketball, and I think most of basketball's problems were, as we've talked about all winter, were just roster construction. But for those of us that don't just live in the absolute nitty gritty,
yes,
you blew a 15-point lead to Kentucky twice. You blew a 12-point halftime lead to Alabama.
Yep.
You beat Vanderbilt once on the road. That's great. You turn around and lose to them at home and on a quasi-neutral in a week. And it's just been annoying whether or not, whatever the reasons were. But you just, and again, it's the missed free throws. It's just, and I know I sound like an old man saying that and a very redneck take, but sitting in that gym watching us miss free throws, it's just, it's mind-numbing, Tony. I mean, I know we're laughing about it, but I mean,
listen,
again,
this Carey guy, this Carey guy, when he goes to foul on, I just kind of look away, man.
Oh, it's brutal.
I mean, if it goes in, it's a miracle. Poor guy.
And I mean, and again, I know it's a joke, but like, I said I was there Friday and Saturday for all the games. I came back Saturday night, but at one point yesterday, Tony, with about 6 minutes to go in the Vandy Arkansas game, Vandy over the entire weekend had missed 5 free throws. I watched Jalen Carey miss 5 free throws in the first half Friday afternoon, and we missed, what did we get, 13 or 23 or something?
He actually made 11 of 15 against us last year in 2 games.
He made 11 of 15.
That's something like that.
That's wonderful. The thing about Vanderbilt is that I come to the conclusion this Byington guy is a damn good coach. Okay, that's what he is.
You're right, Tony.
He's one of the best young coaches in the deal. He needs to get out of there. That's exactly right.
Tony, you want a little scoop? Maybe you've heard this. You've probably got this guy around YouTube. I've got this on pretty good sourcing.
Hit it.
That Byington, it may not be this year because there's not a lot of good jobs open.
Right.
Byington doesn't love the support that they're getting for basketball. The fans hadn't showed up. I mean, they've showed up better than they did under Stackhouse, but they only sold out 2 games this year, Kentucky and Tennessee.
Maybe he stays around and we can hire him, like Kentucky hired Tommy Smith one time. I would take him.
Yeah, and anyway, I had a little birdie tell me about a month ago to watch, and we'll see if it happens.
I'm gonna poke around on that. I'm gonna ask Plaster about that. Plaster,
no, Tony, listen to this. Specifically, what I'm about to give you.
Hit it.
Will Wade jumps back to Baton Rouge.
Yes.
NC State, Mark Byington. We'll see. Just a little
that's
birdie.
interesting. Oh wow, okay. You're saying right
like
now.
I said, we'll see. It's just a little scuttle that was out there again. It was about a month ago now, but yeah, I mean, they can't blame them. I mean, Vanderbilt's going all in on football as they should. Clark Lee did an amazing job, and as long as we can make fun of them, but as long as Corbin's there, they're going to obviously fund baseball. So I just think that he's done an incredible job. What he's done in 2 years there.
Yes.
I mean, you can't argue with it. And I mean, and they're fun to watch, man. I hate them. I hate their fans that were mocking us all Friday, as they should have. But I mean, watching them tear Florida up, it was impressive.
Oh my gosh.
The bigs played good. Their guards, I mean, Tanner and Miles they're a little annoying with their foul growth thing, but I mean, they're awesome. They're awesome players. Nickel finally hit some shots Saturday. They played great.
The craziest thing is Tennessee told Miles they didn't have any more money last spring.
Yeah, that one hurt.
That does
one
hurt.
Tony.
You're not
going to win them all.
You're not going to win them all.
And Yeah, and I was talking to some Friday night. I'm curious what y'all's take on this is. I said, and I could be wrong, but I think Duke Miles is the difference in this team being second round loss, which is what I expect, and an elite Eight loss. I think he literally could be the difference in 2 rounds.
Oh yeah, are you kidding, Bino? You put Duke Miles on this team, you are going to the Elite Eight. That's your expectation, Bino. If they would have done that deal with him,
you give me that one more score like that, we're going.
Yep.
Well, I mean, and he'd just be perfect. He'd be perfect for our team. Can you imagine Gillespie, Miles, and Ament? I mean, with our front line, with JP and Felix, that would be a squad.
Yep. Thank you.
Anyway.
Thank you. Great talking to you. Thanks, man. It's I love Jordan. He's my man. Or I'm sorry, Grant Birmingham. My brain is. What is my brain? It's a terrible thing to waste, is what it is. We'll go back to our phones. Bino, a mutual friend of ours, asked me the following. Which team goes further, Brian, us or the women, in the upcoming NCAA tournament? He said he's asking for a friend, Bino. Brian?
I think the men go further.
Okay.
If I had to bet.
Go further.
And then our mutual friend Bino also asks, do you think SMU and Miami of Ohio, along with Virginia, think they have an incredible draw like we do?
Probably. Yeah, probably.
Okay. Do you think he feels better now, Bino?
Probably not.
Do you find him to be a punk and a clown, Bino, certain times when he starts like
I don't know who
you?
we're talking about, Tony. So
you know who we're talking about, Bino. Let's go back to the phones. And to our buddy, we love you. We're just kidding. Richest roster, 2026 NCAA tournament. Estimated, this is from Connor Hale. Estimated NITs, estimated rosters. Here you go. You ready? Kentucky spent the most, $20 million. You know what's crazy? Are the Lady Vols a 10 seed, Bino? They are, aren't they? They're in a 10-7 game. Is that right, Brian?
Yes.
And Kentucky's a 10 seed. Is that right?
No, they're a 7.
Duke spent $12 million this year. Arkansas spent $11.5 million this year. Louisville, $10.5 million this year. Texas Tech spent $10.5 million a year. Michigan spent $10.5 million this year. Kansas spent $9.5 million. And then the Vols are right there around 9. 9.25 to 9.5. Kind of interesting. Some of the haves, some of the have-nots. St. John's very quietly spent $10.5 million. One thing I would add, though, is that BYU is in there somewhere. BYU is another underachieving team for the roster they have. But we'll go back to the phones.
When they lost the Saunders kid, though, they were completely different.
Yeah, and I would think that Duke spent more money than that. But who the hell knows? The whole thing about NIL is it's open to any interpretation because truly nobody reports anything. Nobody really knows. Hell, it could be way higher than we all think it is. It could be way lower than we all think it is. But it's really, really silly. And James Daniels says that, the word around that Peterson kid is that he got $6.5 million from Kansas alone. But here's the issue with that. Because Tennessee got Nate Ament $4, but some of it comes from the shoe company. So do you count that in your overall NIL? It's how we fudge these figures and move figures around. I wish Nate Ament was 150% right now, guys, because he could really take off in this tournament. That's kind of what rips me apart. Know what I mean, Bino?
Yeah.
And by the way, one thing I wanted to add a postscript. We had a caller earlier bring up Ray Mears. I meant to bring this up. So when I was a kid just in the job, my son's age, late 20s, I welcomed Ray Mears back at a time where a lot of people wouldn't go near him. Bino remembers this. And because I suffer from depression too, so I kind of knew, people would say he's crazy, don't be around him, blah, blah. And I was like, he's not crazy. He's a really, really cool dude, really smart guy. Person of vision is what he is. Now, don't get me wrong. He had his moments, and, he could get wound up at times. But I asked him one time, we were reflecting on his days at Tennessee. And I said, Ray, I said, so you lose to VMI. He said, yeah, Bernard had a wrist injury. I said, you ever thought down through the years about why you didn't just tape his hand up and go play? He said, I never considered that then, and I've never considered it since. This is like the mid-'90s. He said, I was never, ever a guy. It's like 25 years later. He said, I was never a coach that would risk a player, and I certainly wasn't going to risk him with the future he had in front of him. Which I think is a pretty interesting response from Ray Mears, Bino.
It is, Tony. And he, it was obvious to see that Bernard was special. But yeah, it would have been easy, especially, as hard as it was to make the NCAA tournament in those days, to look out there and say, hey, this is an opportunity. We got to make it work. But I believe it was a broken thumb, and I think he did it against Georgia, maybe the last game of the regular season, and there was no tournament at that time. So he had basically done it the game before they were to go into the NCAA tournament, if memory serves me correctly.
Bino, you're an NBA franchise. Are you worried about this Nate Immense body holding up, as some people are saying in our YouTube chat? Because I'm not.
No, I think that I think that they know that that he's going to be able to put weight on, and he's going to continue to mature physically.
Brian, have you?
No, I doubt it.
Brian, have you considered all these young stars that are on these basketball teams that we're going to see in the first round, and how fun the tournament's going to be from that perspective? There's so many superstars in the sport right now.
I want to see who handles the pressure of Arch better than some others do. Who handles it best?
My 76ers won the other day, and it pissed me off so bad. I so badly want to just keep falling and fall right into that lottery. Hell, if you pick 10, you'll get a mint. That's what they're saying. I mean, damn, man. Look at the top. Look at these players. You imagine Bino Nate Immense at 10 in an NBA draft? You imagine how deep that draft is?
No, this crop of young players is fantastic.
Wow. And by the way, Nate Immense, though he was beat up all year, never, even including the other day, never shied away from contact. Even the other day when he couldn't get off the floor, he was still going at people. Look how many times he got to the line. And how about when he got the absolute hell beat out of him and thrown to the floor there? Man, I held my breath. I thought, geez Louise, man.
Tony, this is a really, really good group of young men. Their stories are interesting. They're good young men. Seems like they're easy to pull for. They're just harder to watch than most teams we've had recently.
Oh, they're brutal to watch now. This team here, using Bino's line, this team here make the Pope cuss right at you. And he went to Villanova, so he knows better. Hello and welcome in. As
as much as I love them, I'm an old fogey. It's hard for me to trust or for a team that lost 4 out of 5 to Kentucky and Vandy to be one of my favorites.
Well, Jordan in Birmingham said it. I mean, this team wins a game, they've had a nice run. This team wins a game here, they've had a nice run. I'm sorry. I didn't do it. I'm not saying they're not going to win Sunday. I'm going to say it one more. This team wins a game in this tournament. That's a good showing for them. Because basically that's who they are. They're going to play to their seed. Because they are a 6 seed. It's kind of who they are. Hello, they're inconsistently inconsistent in a consistent way. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Tony, brother Bino, what's up?
Hey,
brothers.
Sammy. What's happening?
So was Jordan that guy is he from Nashville?
He's in Birmingham. Grant in Birmingham.
Grant. It's Grant in Birmingham.
Yeah. A.K.A. Jordan in Birmingham.
The real ray of sunshine, somebody said. Yeah, I mean,
he's
shoulda, woulda,
actually
coulda.
a really positive guy.
Yeah, he's really positive.
Well,
yeah.
He, saying, oh, if we had Miles, if we had the Boozer brothers, I mean, listen, Vanderbilt, who's coaching McNeese right now?
I have no idea, but it's not Will Wade who built it.
Well, whoever it is, they're going to beat Vanderbilt in that first game because Vanderbilt,
negative.
Vanderbilt played a home tournament and won a few games.
That'd be negative. It's not going to happen, Sammy.
Well, we'll see. Listen, Tony, and then that other caller saying Dave was right. Earlier this year, I literally heard Dave on a call contradict himself on the same phone call. Like, the guy has absolutely no clue about basketball if he's actually serious with the stuff he calls in here and says. Like, it's just mind-boggling how stupid it is. Tony, this team, and Bino's right, it'll make the Pope cuss. I mean, if we don't just make these boneheaded turnovers and make these bunnies that were right there at the rim for, we would have buried all these teams. We would have buried Kentucky. We would have buried them twice. We would have buried some of these other games
Here's a great thing to consider, Sammy, and I appreciate you. Thank you. You're my man. But here's something to consider. Sammy, I love you. How many layups you guys think we missed this year? How many games we played so far, Bri? What's the number?
They played 33 games.
33.
And I just took Vandy minus 11.5, by the way.
No doubt about it.
Right during that phone call.
We love you, Sammy, but that ain't happening. I mean, look, eating your gummies is one thing. Huffing paint's another. Bino, if we played 33 basketball games, that would easily mean that this year we've blown 200 layups. No, I'm at least seven a game. At least 7 a game. At least.
Well over 100, I'm sure.
100? Shit.
I'll go with
well over that.
Well over by December. 100. They miss 6 or 7 a night, guys. They do. Couple hundred, Bino, easily this year.
Yeah, I think 6 or 7's high, but this is a team that misses a lot of shots at the rim and turns the ball over, and they've just done it. I mean, they've done it consistently all year long.
Brady T-Tops is right. He said, did the men or women miss more layups this year? That's a really good question. Our guys, let me tell you something. A couple of our guys, if I was in a layup line with them, okay, I would wear like a crash helmet. You could literally get whiplash from some of the balls the way they come off the rim. Another question.
I know everything's contested at the rim, but that's been an issue with this team.
It's unreal. I've never seen anything like it. We look up at the end of these games. I might, if I get really bored this week, count them up. Because they're all there. All you can do is just do the research.
And I just think that Vandy team's a lot better than people have been giving them credit for.
Sure
I thought that all year long. I think the only thing that they may be missing is enough rim protection. But they've got a good basketball team.
And Brian, Ricky Gawney's got a great point. Like when you think about this, because Brian, you said it the other day in frustration about Carey. Carey gets a bunch of offensive rebounds because he's constantly rebounding his own misses.
Maybounds.
Now, we love him, but that's some Moses Malone stuff right there. Moses Malone will go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then score and lead the league in rebounding every year.
My buddy Rick calls them Maybounds.
That's a great line, Maybounds. That's a great line, Rick.
And I'll say this line again. Anyone that's being executed by firing squad, if Jalen Carey's pulling that trigger, they're getting a clean bill of health.
Poor guy. NECA Dave.
Ronnie's gone Pazon on us.
NECA Dave said layups and missed foul shots. What an ugly brand of basketball. And Grant's right in Birmingham. The foul shot thing just runs all over you. It's just like our team shoots what, 68, 67% for the year? It feels like it's a lot worse than that.
They're so reliant on their post players to score.
Yeah.
And none of them can really shoot free throws consistently. Maybe Estrella's the best one, but any of those other guys, sheesh.
Bino, do we love this Berg guy, yes or no? Where are we on Bergie? We saw an awful lot of him on Friday, Bino.
Plays way too many minutes. Because he has to.
Yeah, I'm
and that's why your ceiling's limited.
You know, Berg had a stretch there where he played better than I thought that he was capable of. Really fast with a basketball. If he can get out front, he can fly with a basketball. But no, you shouldn't be in a situation where Berg's playing those type of minutes or where Bishop's playing those kind of minutes.
Pretty amazing. Pretty amazing stuff. Any other thoughts from, well, let's get a few more calls in because people have been waiting. Hello, welcome in. You're on the air.
Hello, guys. Good to be on with you.
Hey, thank you. Good to be on with you.
I wanted to bring something up. Kind of got poo-pooed Friday. I got a bunch of TVs. That's how I can keep up with the Lady Vols and the UFL and all the other stuff you watch, Tony, because it's hard. You know, you can't
see it on one
SEC
TV.
Championship. Yeah,
That's
you
right.
want to watch everything.
That's right.
So anyway, I'm watching. My dad's out in Dallas, and we're watching the IRL Grand Prix.
Boom! Let's go, man.
And when it ends, they say, "Stay tuned. We're going to the Bassmaster Super Bowl in Knoxville, Tennessee."
Yep.
Yes.
Now, guys, I'm not a lake guy. Don't ski. I've gone fishing. I'm not a fisherman. But let me tell you, the coverage of that thing was out of this world. They had boats out there with cameras. They had drones everywhere.
Yep.
They were all over Concord. They were all over Turkey Creek. They used that darn convention center down there for something. It was full. I think that thing must be good for business in this area.
Hell yeah. My friends at Calhoun's got a call. And Randy Moss had a table of 8 the other night down at, they accommodated him, I want to say, at Chesapeake's. And there were a couple other of the fishermen and there's several NFL players were in that thing. Bunch of good old boys. Love that fishing. I think that is a neat thing. Again, I'm with you. I could go to anything, Sean, and if you're passionate about it, I can get into it. I'm a sportsman all the way. I love my sports like that. If I just take the time to learn about it, because I remember several years ago there were a couple of guys that got caught in the Midwest who were loading their fish with sinkers. And so when they weighed the fish, they cut them open, and there were all kinds of weights in these fish.
Well, we were watching them catch them live.
That's
a kid
cool,
from
man.
Nashville came down here, said he fishes these waters all the time. It's the Baptist comedian Grady Nutt. His great-grandson won the thing, pulled out about 70 pounds of bass out of the river over here.
Wow, that's awesome.
And I wasn't even going to listen to it, but it was like bull riding. Every time something interesting happened, you're like, hey, turn that one up. And, on the other TV, I'm casting the baseball game, and they're in the rain getting beat. And I'm like, why am I listening to this? This over here's a lot more interesting. Oh, Lord, look there. There's my aunt's house.
Hey,
there's her boat dock.
Hey, did Randy?
It was out of this world.
Did Randy fish in the tournament, Sean? Did you see him out there?
Randy Moss, the wide receiver?
Yeah.
No, I didn't see him. I thought maybe he meant the Kentucky Derby guy. No, I didn't.
No, Randy was
didn't
here.
See either one of them.
Yeah, Randy was here, and there were several other NFL players. I don't know if they fished or not, or if they just came down for the event, because he's a good old boy.
I think Steve Harvey, I heard, was there.
Was he just there to watch?
The Family Feud guy. I think he was there. I don't know if he was.
Yeah, it's a big deal to these people. It's like a big
guys,
deal to these
it looked fun. It really did. And, you just got to understand, everything's not for you. Other people can have
That's
interest.
right.
And
that's right.
It's cool to check out. My daughter, one of her friends, was saying they're having an anime convention at that spot next Saturday. I said, well, that's not interesting to me. She said, well, one of the guests is Peter Criss from Kiss.
That's exactly right.
I said, well, that is kind of interesting.
There you go.
Anyway, I wanted to give that some props after it took a few strays there Friday.
Love you, bro. Hey, no. We only
that was a big
love.
deal, and that's a good thing for this town.
It's an
so
awesome
come on
thing
back.
for the town. And Bassmasters, please come on back.
They come every year, but this happened to be their Super
Bring
Bowl
the Super
event.
Bowl
I don't
back.
think they do that every year here, but it was cool. Y'all should check it out.
Thank you, my man. And Bino, what would they call the Bassmaster Super Bowl? If they call the Super Bowl, we got to come up with a name for that. The Super Bowl of Bass. That just doesn't work. The Bassmaster Super Bowl. Necapalooza. Let's spitball some ideas here, Bino. I'm just kidding. Listen, again, like I said Friday, I'm a total degenerate when it comes to these sports. But the Bassmaster class, I love the Bassmasters. I got a Bill Dance hat in my studio somewhere in here. Got one of those mesh Tennessee hats. Bino, did you ever watch Bill Dance in the old ESPN days in the early mornings?
Yeah, I did.
Used to have my little Zebco reel when I was a kid. Did you fish at all, Bino, as a kid?
Just a little bit, Tony. Bank fish. My older brother Ron liked to fish, and he used to take me out some. But
yep, I liked fishing till I went deep sea fishing with my Uncle Nick down the Delaware Bay, and got so seasick I couldn't see straight in real choppy waters. We were out there right before a storm, and he was pretty hardcore. And that boat was going wah, 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 and my stomach was going wah. I spent the whole thing in his hull throwing up my guts out. And I'll never forget this as long as I live. It was he had some station on that played the Summertime Flu like at least 4 times that day. That's a true story. There ain't no cure for the summertime flu. Is that the song? Dun 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 dun. All right, let's go back.
It's Summertime Blues by Alan Jackson.
That's what it is. Summertime Blues.
Blues, not flu, but
there
blues.
You go.
It should have been the
Summertime Flu,
though, Tony.
There you go. That's my memory.
Should have been.
Hello and welcome in. You are on our overtime to the overtime.
Thank you for taking my call. Hello,
Thank
Tony.
You. Good to talk to you.
Bino and Brian.
Good to talk to you.
This is Brian.
Hey, Brian.
I go back to the old Jimmy England days and Ray Mears.
Yep.
And you talking about free throw shooting.
Yep.
Well, then he left, and then you had John Snow, and then you had Mike Edwards. All those guys shot 88, 90% free throw.
Wow.
They were going to make most every free throw. And back then, the only nemesis they really had was Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
But these guys are college basketball players.
Mm-hmm.
I can't understand why they don't all shoot about 150, 200 free throws a day.
They do.
On themselves.
No, they do.
And they're that bad? I'm 66 years old. I guarantee you I can do better than that.
Brian, some guys, Brian, are just are just better foul shooters than others. And some guys have a real mental aversion to it. I remember when Shaquille O'Neal was in the league and he could do everything else with the ball. Remember how bad he was, guys, shooting foul shots?
Oh, yeah, awful. I mean, Brian, we throw the ball to Kerry at the free throw line, and he drains a jumper.
Yep.
He should just walk up there and shoot jumpers from the free throw line.
My son and I were watching it, and I thought, well, maybe this he needs to turn around and jump.
It's another good.
Maybe he can make a free throw.
It's another good Jimmy Dykes line. He said his next foul shot ought to come from 3 feet behind the arc because you can do that.
That's another thing. I'm glad you remind me. Is there any way we could buy him out and get him off of ESPN?
Well,
that guy,
he lives.
I just have to turn the sound off.
He lives in Knoxville. Next time I see him out there, I could maybe sacrifice one of my instruments on one of his limbs.
You might have to sucker
kicking
punch
James
him.
into Jimmy.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I would have to sucker punch him. He's probably like 5 years older than me. I probably would bet. Is he a big guy? Is he a big guy, Bino? Jimmy Dykes?
No, I don't think Jimmy's a real big guy. He's in good shape.
I'd kick him in his junk and pile drive him then.
So
you're going to kick
that silly stuff on
James and Jimmy.
Kick
that
James and his
Pazon
Jimmy.
Stuff.
Yeah, we know how to do it, man. My dad, when I was a kid, told me one time there was a kid picking on me. He said, "Just punch him in the nose, Tony." I said, "Well, he backed down." He goes, "Oh no. He's going to beat the hell out of you, but you're going to get the first punch in." And I walked away from that going,
He's hard enough. He's not going to do nothing but cry.
There you go. My dad said, punch him, go for the nose. Always go for the nose.
Yeah, that's good advice.
Yep.
One other thing, this Virginia team that we're probably going to play, of course, I'm probably getting ahead of myself, but, I mean, we have played a much tougher schedule than they have, haven't
Yes,
we?
we have. Yes. Well,
I mean, their record's better, but
they got a bunch of quad 1 wins.
Yeah.
But they play in a league that's just,
Yeah, we played a meat grinder. Plus, look who we played in the preseason. We played a lot of teams that are really good.
No doubt about it. Virginia's had a surprise year. Somebody put it pretty well last night on our draw show. They're a year soon is what they are. They weren't expecting to be this good this quickly.
They're thinking about them next year then.
Yes, sir. That freshman guard they have is a great player.
You remember Jimmy England and those boys, don't you?
Of course he does.
Absolutely.
Wayne Tomlinson.
Yep.
We had Larry Robinson, power forward. Really good ball players back then.
That's the group after the first ones I remember, Brian.
Hey, Bino, who's the former...
I remember Boerwinkle.
Hey, Bino, who's the former Vol great from that era that went to work for Suzanne Summers? I think that's Jimmy England, right? He handled
what did he do for it?
He handled... Well, Brian.
I don't know.
He handled all the publicity for her and was basically like her manager.
He made a good living.
Yeah, he made a really good living.
Just being near her.
I knew, Brian. See, Brian, I know you. I knew you were going to get a little line in there about Suzanne Summers. Hey, Brian.
Actually, I like Joyce DeWitt better, actually.
Really?
Yeah, especially when she straightened her hair and wore those little bangs. She was good looking, I thought.
Uh-oh.
Well, I don't want to get myself in trouble.
Hey, Brian, I need you to sing. I need you to sing something for us here on the way out, or do some John Ward. Either sing or
I don't have anything prepared.
Sing or John Ward, your choice.
After telling you the final score, Tennessee 35, Alabama nothing. We'll be back to tell you more after this word from Texaco.
Thank you, there. Thank you, Brian, and that's what we're going to end on.
35-0 over Alabama.
Billy Boy Wannabe wants to know, Bino, if he should put his cup on for Friday.
Don't ever take it off this time of year.
No.
Get you a Twins hat.
One time Bino showed up at the SEC tournament, and he had one of those Minnesota Twins hats, and I said, okay, I give up. What are we doing? We were walking to the Georgia Dome in a Twins hat. The great Jim Robinson had us down there back in the day. And Bino, what did...
It had a TC. It was the old TC Twins hat, Tony.
And what did it stand for, Bino?
I wore it every year that time. Stood for Tournament Cruelty.
He had that damn hat on. And he wore it to the game. It's great. And Bino also had that line, "We are Cup Check You." The minute you think things are smooth and clear, the sports world comes right up to you and kicks you right in it. And Bino said back in the day that he had one, a Kevlar one. He had a surgery and had it implanted on his person.
Titanium implants.
It's the dumbest. It's the dumbest thing in the world. All right, y'all. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Brian.
Tony, love you guys. I hope next time I'm on with you next Monday, we're talking about the Vols still playing in the NCAA tournament.
Yep. I want to
have a good trip, Bino. Be safe.
You, Brian.
I want to sweep in baseball, and I want the Vols still playing basketball, but I don't know that that's going to happen. Either one, really, at this point. We love you. We appreciate you. Matt Diskin will be in the house. John Adams will be in the house. We have so much to get into tomorrow. It was fun. We did an overtime to the overtime today. We don't do that very much. Love you, appreciate you. Peace. For those of you that are joining or maybe missed portions of it, let me run it back for you. Tastes so good, you got to get it twice. Boy, I'm looking at myself here on YouTube. I am a sight for sore eyes, y'all. That nap today is going to feel pretty good. Let's see here. Oh, you can't yawn on your friends, man. If you can't yawn around your friends, why can you yawn? Oh, boy. Southern Methodist University. The winner advances to Philly. Tennessee thought they were going to be in the night session, as a source told me yesterday. But it ends up they put them Friday afternoon, which is really odd. It's really odd for them to seed your play-in winner that way. I'm just looking